don't want to late to start, so we don't get the meeting started. This is the meeting for the Assessment Appeals. Today is Wednesday, September 7th. It's about 5:06 p.m. This is for motor vehicle appeals only.
All right. You want these?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you were gonna take care of Nosheen, I guess?
She's not. She's not.
Yeah,
She's second. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice to see you as well. How are you doing? What's that? Oh, no. No, I got 2 kids in college. I can't afford to do anything.
You got in?
I did.
Yeah, happy for you.
But no, I had it with my son. It was a family thing. That's
Hey,
it.
Ken, before you leave, did they change the Wi-Fi password? None of us are connecting.
It should be the same as always. What is it? The happy 375 exclamation point?
With a capital H.
With a capital H.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got in there.
Maybe.
Are we Fairfield staff or Fairfield guests?
Fairfield guest.
Yeah.
Fairfield and then dash,
It
yeah.
just says no internet. Okay.
Okay, so let's get started. Calling meeting to order. Glenn, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Please stand. Right there in the front.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, so let's get started. We'll start with appeal number 1. Judith Zablak.
Ready?
Yeah. You don't have to stand. Let's see. You're appealing, no, let's sit right there. You're appealing the value of Mercedes. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, hit it.
Oh, okay, well, I have the sheet that has all the
There you go.
information. Okay. It's a 2016 Mercedes. The town's value is $28,030. But my opinion of fair market value is $15,000. It's grossly overvalued. There's numerous paint chips. The driver's seat is frayed and incredibly expensive to fix. The center console has mismatched trim, and Mercedes doesn't make that trim anymore, so the whole console has to be replaced. And it's just not available through the manufacturer. I also have an appraised value of the vehicle, and I'm going to read that for everybody.
Sure.
Dear Judith, it was nice speaking with regards to the clean retail value of your 2016 Mercedes-Benz E400 Coupe, and then he goes on with the VIN number. This is a tidy example, however, of the great deal of exterior cosmetic defects, particular to the nose of this vehicle and the form of chips in the paint. Unfortunately, these defects are numerous, and to repair them properly, I would recommend respraying the nose of this vehicle. On the interior, the center console panel has been replaced with an incorrect solid black panel. This panel should be a Mercedes-Benz flat dash trim matching the other original trim. Given the overall condition of the vehicle at this mileage, I would state the clean retail value as of October 1, 2021 of this vehicle is $15,000 US dollars. If you have any further questions regarding the vehicle, please do not hesitate to contact me. This is from Simcoe Motor Cars and Vehicle Sales Consignment and Consulting. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Do you have anything else to offer?
No.
Gee, what was the town value?
This is $28,030.
I didn't hear the year, Judy, I'm sorry.
The town's value is $28,030.
And the year of the car?
2016.
What was the make, Judy?
Pardon?
What was the make, 2016, what kind of Mercedes?
It's an E400.
E400.
400.
Do you know what the NADA book has for it?
The what?
The book that we use, you know, what the value is?
Yeah, you know what, there's an appraised value and clean retail value. It's an appraisal from well-respected Simcoe Motor Cars LLC. So, and he understands all of the town regulations and not a guide, but he also understands value. This is someone who absolutely understands value. And there's issues with a car that cannot make it to that 28,000, not in any way, shape, or form.
Any mechanical issues?
Pardon?
Any mechanical issues? Driving wise, everything's okay?
Yeah, as far as I know, I hope so. I certainly hope so.
What about the mileage?
What's the mileage?
The mileage is about 78 or 79,000. Maybe, but it could be 80.
Okay.
And that's as of now, or do you think, because we usually try to do it
Oh,
mileage
you
as
know
of
what?
October
I have a couple
2021?
of cars, so as of October 1, 2021,
Yeah.
it would probably be about 76.
76,000?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? Thank you, Judy. Okay, next,
Maybe we'll look at the car and tell my son.
I want to get her done, she's got to get out of here.
Okay,
Then
thank
we'll get
you.
on to
All right.
the next one. Appeal number 6,
What number was that?
Nashin Sale.
Mhm.
Okay, if you'd like to go to the podium, you can. You are appealing the town's value on your Toyota Camry L. Your opinion of value is $4,000, and the town's is $13,428.
Thank you.
Okay,
Hi, yes, to start off, thanks for taking the time. The mileage on the car as of last year was 187,600. And there's quite a bit of body damage on the vehicle as well. It was hit by a car once, and it was a hit and run on the vehicle. And then there was also some another accident that happened where debris hit the car as well too. So there was some damage on the car as well. It's a 2014 Camry.
The middle is still with
The middle console has damage on it as well, and but mostly it's the body damage and then the high mileage.
okay. Mechanically, the car is sound?
Excuse me?
Nothing wrong with the running of the car, for example, the engine has a problem, the brakes, does it leak oil?
The only issue it has is there's a light that doesn't, a light for the tire that doesn't go away. Brought it a couple of times and they needed it for some, it's an unknown reason why the light keeps coming on, so that's an unknown issue. Even though the tires are inflated well and there's a light that keeps coming on, but I think once I had a trouble with the emissions, but it did happen.
Okay. Anyone else have questions?
Yeah, sorry, so the mileage as of October 1, 2021, is that the 187, or that? what it is
187,
now,
yeah.
As of last October?
Yeah, now it's at 189.
Okay, so it's not.
Yeah, it's our secondary vehicle, so
Yeah.
we don't drive it as much because
Okay.
it's work from home.
So that's-
Yeah.
And then I missed what model Camry it was,
It's a Toyota Camry 2014, that's an SE.
SE?
It's labeled as a hybrid vehicle, but it's not a hybrid. So I'm not sure why it keeps coming up as a hybrid,
Huh,
and that also increases the value,
right.
but it's not a hybrid vehicle.
Does it say that on the car? Like, well, what do you mean by
It's like
label
when you
type in the
when you
VIN
type in the
number?
VIN number or you go to the value online, it says comes up as hybrid, but it's fully gas.
And what did the town value this car at, and what do you think the value is?
I think the town valued it at 14, was it 14?
Yeah, you say the value is $4,000. The town says the value is $13,428.
Based on selling it locally, I was trying to sell it, and the most I was offered was 4,500 last year. So now the mileage is even higher now. Due to the high mileage and the damage on the vehicle.
There's a lot of dents on there.
That mileage is really high.
Oh, yeah.
It's like almost three times what it should be. All right, anybody else? Does anybody want to go look at the car? Is it here?
It's in the parking lot.
Anybody want to go look at it?
These are, is this the picture?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have a picture.
I saw those, I'm just asking. No? No other questions?
This goes in the record, I don't know. Put it in the record? Okay.
Okay, thank you. You're all set.
Okay.
When we're
All right,
done,
thank
when we're
you.
done with all the appeals, after we hear everybody, then we're going to be privately deliberate, and then you'll get a notice after the decision.
Great, thanks for your time.
Thank
Thank you.
you, thank you.
And now, Judy's car is outside, the one we just discussed, and there you go. And her son's there, he's got to leave soon. Does anybody want to go see the car? Well, let's go look.
Are you guys okay? Do you have a few minutes to wait?
Yeah. I would prefer you look at my car, roll the windows up by hand, you know?
You know, you want to come down and take a look?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, rather than go up and down there.
We'll be on squad now, Kathy.
Okay, stop the recording temporarily.
Yeah, wait. Okay, we're back in session. We went down through all the cards, that people are appealing. So, let me see, who's next? Oh, that's all these all cards. You were here next? Okay, so. And your name?
Sheikh Dana.
Oh, here you go, okay. And you have two of these, yes?
Yeah. The one, Muhammad Tariq.
Sorry, okay. Oh, here it is, no. Yes, I got it, okay. All right, so let's do the, we'll do yours first, the one in your name. Okay. This is appeal number 3. It is for a, doesn't say, okay, well, why don't you tell us what kind of car it is?
It's 2018 Honda Civic.
And it says on your sheet here that it's got high mileage and you're appealing because of the condition of the vehicle,
Yeah.
okay? So briefly tell us what was wrong with it. You were putting it on the record.
Yeah, I have almost, as of last year, I think the mileage.
Yeah, you might have.
So it will be, the mileage will be around 110. And, the front grille of the car is broken. And, I have to get new shocks for the car. And the rear bumper is also has some damage and some little dents on the car, like 3-4 all around. And I have fabric sheets, and it's burned with the cigarette. So basically high mileage and condition of the car.
And this happened in, 2000.
When the car
February?
was sold?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was this year, February 2022.
And it's an LX? Is that what you said?
Civic.
It's an LX.
Yeah, the current mileage is almost 124, about to be 125. But last year, October, I think it's 110 at that time.
And did all the damage happen when it was stolen, or did you have damage last year?
The grill, was broken before, but the bumper that's hanging out is when I think, while they're driving, they hit the car. So the bumper that's hanging out, that's one.
Okay, and how about the burned seats? All that happened in 2020 when it was stolen?
You can say, yeah, but one of the stains after in this year.
Okay. So it's just the bumper that was in in October of 2021, it was the bumper?
No, the grill, the front grill.
The grill, I'm
and
sorry.
the rear bumper.
And the rear bumper, okay. So those were existing in October 2020?
And the little dents I showed you.
Okay.
He had a lot of wheel rash too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one that had those chips on wheels, right?
That's rash, that is.
Yeah,
Oh, that's like horrible, because those wheels, they cost like $300 a piece, even, no matter what kind of car.
And so what is the, town saying?
The town said 19,800, and his opinion value is 10,200.
And where did your value come from?
I checked it online, Carmex, and also I went to trade in the car, and that's what they said.
Where'd you go to trade it in?
Honda Westport, but I didn't trade in because, the new car and this car, it was different.
Do we have a printout or what?
No.
I can show
You
you
have
the
it?
CarMax value. I have an email from them. I can show you.
Oh, okay.
Yes. From CarMax, they usually print something out.
You
They give it to you, like,
they
right then
also
and there.
sent, so I did it,
Oh, you did it online?
so this is, value 10,600, and it says Honda Civic, and now, I did it now with the current mileage on it, it says 8,000 for the same car.
Okay.
That's, the 8,000 one is now, but the.
And that's based on your input that you did this online?
Yeah,
without
so
the-
whatever I told you with the same mileage and conditions, so they give you 4 options, very fair, so I did fair.
You did fair, okay.
And for the Camry, I also have for Camry.
And when did you do those estimates?
The 10,000 one
Yeah.
is when I got the tax bill, but I put the information as 110 and condition
Right.
fair. And now if I put 124,000, it comes up to
So it
8,000.
came up,
It went down to 8,000.
so here we have evidence that not every used car went up in value as posted
Well,
on the
you
assessor's
changed
website.
the mileage, that's, it's a hard thing to say. Apple to apple, the mileage would have to remain the same.
Or close
We're
to
not
it.
to compare,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I'm just saying, the
Yeah, yeah,
thing that, the word out there is that cars, there's always these cars up in value, this one didn't. From one year to the other.
Yeah, but it changed the mileage
Yeah,
by
still.
almost, 12,000, yeah.
14,000.
I know, 14,000, I don't know. You said
110 in October.
No, the mileage,
Now it's 124,
but I mean, how much did the guy who stole it put on the
1,200 miles.
1,200? Yeah.
In a day.
Yeah, I
No,
found back the car in Waterbury after 8 days. So, you know, when they change the oil and they reset the trip thing, so I just got the oil change and the same day they stole my car, and when I got the car back, it has 1,200 miles. So they reset every time because every 5,000 miles, that's
Yeah.
for me to remember.
Yeah.
So when I got my car back, it has like 1,200 some miles. The same day I got the oil change, so that's how I know they drove 1,200 miles.
And they stole that in February of 22?
22 years.
Okay.
Okay, is that it for that one? Any more on that car?
No.
Now the next one. Now, that's not on here yet, so what make and model was that one?
It's 2019 Toyota Camry. And last year the mileage was around 84, 85. And you saw the condition of the car.
Yeah.
The one side needs to be painted, and the front bumper needs to be replaced because it's broken. And they can fix it. And all 4 tires, they are scratched, and inside it's a leather in there, and it's burned from like 2 front seats and the carpet, and it has like,
What number?
I'm sorry, this is appeal number 4.
Number 4. And the town has it, yeah.
The town's value is $24,730. And your assessment of value is $14,000.
yeah, that's what.
What would you get that one from, same thing, Carmack?
If you put the 84,000 with the condition and the year and everything, it shows this one.
Okay. All right. Anyone have questions about that one?
It was an FD, right? No, so that was the record, FD, okay.
Okay. Nothing else? No one? We're good? Thank you very much. We'll decide that, whenever you're done with what we need to decide, and then you'll receive a notice from the assessor's office. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Who was next? And your name is?
I did just.
Got it, okay. Now we're doing appeal number 5, and this is a
2013 Jeep Patriot.
The town's estimation of value is 9,007.
Yeah.
And your estimation of value?
CarMax had it at 3,300,
3,300.
and they offered to buy it at 23-ish.
They valued it 33, but they offered to buy it for 1,000.
Less,
Less.
because it was, well, that was during the height of the car surge, and they didn't have anything, but I don't know what it is now.
Okay. So do you want to leave your value at 33, or do you want to put it what theirs was at 23?
I don't honestly know the difference, really.
Well, if I had somebody offer me 23, I think I would want my value to stay.
Sure, 23 is not bad. Sorry.
Okay.
You said it was 135,000 miles, October 1, 2021?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so, yeah, go ahead, no, okay, we know that it has no automatic locks or
Not
doors,
automatic anything.
windows, nothing automatic,
Yeah, there's not even a CD player.
no CD player. There's no Bluetooth?
No,
Camera or
there's not,
technology?
if I gotta roll my windows up, there's not much of it, no offense. I don't have a button.
Bluetooth?
I don't have a button to lock the door, so, yeah, I don't think they got Bluetooth.
No Apple Play, no Apple Play or any of that stuff, right?
It's an Patriot Jeep 2000.
No, Bluetooth, that car would be like Blue Magic Marker
And your
and,
teeth, yeah.
okay.
Open up the window with an antenna.
There's a bit of pen or two in there, so I had to try a Bluetooth, but that's about it.
Okay. Anyone have any questions or anything to ask about this car?
No, just to confirm for Kathy, it's a Patriot Jeep 2013.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Whatever the base model. Okay.
Yes, it's the base model, yeah.
Okay. And when I'm sorry, would you buy, you bought it recently?
I bought it in 2012 for 17,000.
Oh, 20, that, I have 17,000 written down here. Okay.
Yeah, I bought it
2012.
for 17,000 back in 2012.
Got it,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Yes.
17,000, 2012, okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else to offer?
That would be it.
Anyone else with questions?
Was it new at the time?
It had 100 miles on it, yeah, yeah.
That's it? Okay, thank you.
Did you get her name?
Yeah.
Danielle. Now, let's talk about the Volkswagen first, because that's the one that's happening in my hand. This is appeal number 7. It is for 2018 VW Tiguan.
What's that?
Tiguan.
Tiguan.
Yep.
And that pound value was 25,960. Owner's opinion of value of fair market value was 18,315. Okay. You said you bought it for 25,000 in 2018,
Yeah.
and the Kelly Blue Book value,
It's average around 22,733.
22,730. Okay, I get it. Yeah. And you're saying that you believe that it's worth 18,315,
Yeah.
and that is based on?
The mileage for the car is high, it's like 58,400. And, you know, there was an accident, and there was like, you know, dings in it, you know what I mean? There was an accident. Not a huge accident, you know what I mean? There wasn't a ton of damage, but, there was a little accident with that car. So I feel due to the mileage, due to the condition of it, that it's definitely, I did the average of the Kelly Blue Book at 22,733, but I feel like it's worth lower than that. You know, I haven't gone to a dealership to get rid of it yet, but I'm planning on it. But, you know, the car isn't the greatest, so.
Now, that mileage was in 2021?
In 2021, the mileage was that's what it is now, but in 2021, I would say an estimate, it was probably 56,000, because we don't use it, because we have the electric car.
And for that accident, was there any repair made to the car?
Yeah.
When was the accident?
The accident was probably like, I bought it in 2018. I mean, it's probably on like 2019, a year afterwards.
Okay.
And what was the extent of the repairs?
Just like the side, like a little light damage to the side, that's it.
Like surface.
Do they have to do something like replace the piece, or just bang out the dents, or?
Yeah, they had to do some, replacement. It wasn't a huge accident though, it was just kind of a fender bender.
What did they replace?
They replaced like the front, like the bumper and stuff like that, and it was just scraped on the side
And it was replaced at the dealer, or replaced at a local place?
at a local place.
Did they use aftermarket parts, or actual Toyota parts?
I would hope they used Toyota,
I would doubt it.
VW, but I'm not sure, I can't confirm that.
If you don't know that, then you probably wasn't, because they don't unless you ask them to, and pay out.
Okay.
After you pay all that money for insurance. Okay. Anything else?
That's it on that one.
Okay?
I just was gonna say, is there a model on the Tiguan's, or there must be different levels, right, of packages?
That Tiguan is the SEL. Yeah.
I just read it. Any other comments or questions about this car? Okay, let's move on to the next one, 008, same owner, and it is a 2019 Jaguar, is that an
I-PACE, yeah.
I-PACE S. The town's assessment value, $55,500. The town's asking for a value of $38,850. Car was purchased for $60,139, and that was in 2019? You know?
That was actually, I bought it March 27, 2021. It was a
Okay.
new car sitting on the lot.
Oh, that's right, you said that, okay. Never been driven, but, okay. All right. And you said Kelly Blue Book value that you found on that was $46,248. And then the assessment being $38,850.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And what,
that's not appraised value.
that's, well, the appraised value, basically, she's saying that the market value, which would be like an appraised value, is $46,248. And then her assessment value is $38,850.
Okay, but the town value is the 55 assessed or appraised? I just wanna make sure we're
I
apples
don't
to
know,
apples.
I know, but I don't know if it doesn't say. Do you have your slip from the, tax assessor? I don't know.
Here's this one. We paid half of it. And, yeah, I think this is the other one. Is this the other one?
When I looked at mine, the number that's on the tax bill was the assessment.
I think it is, but
I looked at it and I questioned it, because I thought I was getting taxed. If you multiply the mill rate and look at the tax bill and multiply the mill rate by that, you'll figure it out. That's it. Otherwise, they'd be taxing on.
unless I'm looking at this wrong, it says assessed $36,630, am I right here? You look.
I just wanna make sure, for thinking about the other ones too, I kinda forgot to ask that. I mean, we can look them up online,
So, here. The assessed value is not the appraised value, that's the assessed to 70% of what the account appraised.
Right,
but, right.
it's like the real estate, but
So are you asking for 38,000 assessed or 38,000 appraised?
let's say it this way, are you saying you want to be taxed on $38,850?
What were they going by, 36?
Can't tell on there.
Okay, so was the 36, what was that number again? 36,630? What was the number they have?
36,630.
36. Okay, hold on.
I'm online.
And what was the value, what was the assessed
Town
value?
value?
Need to find it.
25? What was the assessed value after that?
Oh,
What do you mean?
Okay, wait a minute, so they said 36,6, okay, hold on.
Town said 30, the all we have for
So
town
it'd
is
be 52.3 for the town? 52.3 for the town times 0.7 is 36,630. Right, so if that's what her assessment is, then the town valued it at approximately 52.3.
That is so hard to read that. I know, well, they show all the old taxes.
Danielle, can I see that one more time? Yeah,
There's the T1.
Yeah, it's really confusing. I didn't.
It's like, they're.
You know, I looked at mine and I thought it was a little odd too, right? So
Yeah,
it's
they've got all the old
assessed
tax
at
bills
36,630,
and they
right?
organized.
So 36,630 divided by 0.7.
Correct.
Is 52,328.
Correct.
So that's the town, so the town is saying it's worth 52,300, or approximately that amount, right?
Right.
Okay.
So, and Danielle, you're saying,
Where can we find online?
Yeah, under the tax collector's office, you can see the tax bills.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
there you go.
Thank
Where
you.
does it, where does 55 find?
I divided, I
No,
tried
you
by
can-
7 and
We have to start with the
I only
next
worked it
Yeah.
back.
No, I know, but the collector.
The general
He's
fund.
got 52.
Yeah, is that on, well, you pay taxes in arrears, you pay backwards? But,
No,
She doesn't have.
what,
I gave
Is
that
this-
card to my mom.
is this car in your name, these two cars?
Yeah,
Okay,
my name and my wife's name, two people.
okay.
Yeah. Danielle and Melissa, I don't know if you see it.
Danielle, I hear you said the town, you say the town value is 55,500. Did you get that from your tax bill?
No, they just told me downstairs.
Oh, they may have just quoted it wrong.
They said that's what we're
Well,
looking
I'm
at.
guessing Orm,
Well, close to it, yeah.
They wrote that down.
Okay,
Ken's, around, right?
I know, we're gonna need them for the NADA book because I
okay.
have a hard time.
Anything else, Melissa?
Was
I
there,
mean, Danielle. Anything else?
what was the mileage, Danielle, on that?
The mileage on this car is like 10,000.
As of October 2021?
No, 8,000.
Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You'll receive a decision in the mail from the tax collector's office.
I think,
Thank you very much.
Actually, when did you had mentioned that there was a hit and run?
is that on the?
Did
Oh,
that
yeah,
happen?
that happened this year, 2 months ago. When I was
He
hit
was
on the
on
highway, and he took off, and he lived in Darien, and I followed him, basically. So,
Yeah, you wanted to,
I'm still waiting. You can't get that card.
But that accident was this year?
Yeah.
Okay. July of
Like
22.
2 months ago, yeah,
Yeah.
around as an estimate.
And it was a 2019 vehicle, but you purchased it in March 2020 when it had been on the lot that long?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
just want to make sure I have the dates
It
right.
was sitting on the lot, no mileage.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They don't hold their value, those Jaguars. I was shocked at the, when I looked at the value, they just don't, so. Thank you.
they're fun to drive.
They're fun to drive, but their values don't hold.
But I bet you they told you it was.
What?
I bet you they told you it was when you bought it. They don't just say that.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly, yeah.
Anymore.
Like good trade-in and, no. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, last one that we have now is appeal number 2, Judy Zaglak, for a
2016 Maserati.
2016.
That's in there.
Where? Oh, here it is. Huh? Oh, there it is. Oh, here it is. I see it.
Number 2?
Maserati.
Yep.
Dan.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't write
Oh,
2016.
but I got it now. Okay, all right, here you go. So, let's tell us about first. Town's value is 44,000, and the account's value is 22,000. Grossly overvalued, auto no longer has original engine, it's due to turn to value, along with finished scratches and defects, the appraised value.
Yep, okay, well, that's it, you still, I can look at, it might look good on the outside, but there's problems with because of that engine. And I had it formally appraised again with Simcoe Motor Cars, and I'm gonna read that for the record.
Can you just tell us briefly, what's on Simcoe Motor Cars?
Simcoe Motor Cars is, an exotic and classic, and it's a car dealer, and he does this all the time. He is, he's a young guy who has actually written up 40 under 40 in the country for being one of the best car dealers. anywhere, he's in Connecticut.
Where is he? I might wanna go.
He's, in Norfolk.
Oh, wait a minute.
Really? Okay. So, you know, what he deals a lot with,
High-end.
high-end cars, right. So, July 22nd, Dear Judith, it was nice speaking with regards to the clean retail value of your 2016 Maserati Ghibli four-door sedan, VIN number, blah, blah, blah. When I spoke with him on both of my appraisals, I told him that that the town's guideline is that it has to be clean retail value. And because he's a car dealer, he understands that terminology, clean retail value. So when he writes clean retail value and he puts his name on it, that's what it is. So I'll just say that. This is a very clean example in desirable colors. However, the engine in your vehicle is not the unit that was originally supplied with. While the reason for the original being replaced is unknown to Simco Motor Cars, this does impact the overall clean retail value of your automobile. The Ghibli is not considered a numbers matching automobile and unfortunately significantly impacts the overall value of the automobile. According to Kelly's Blue Book Value Guide, numbers matching example falls between $27,677 and $31,872 US. As this example has a replacement in a used engine, which is not original to the chassis, I would state the clean retail value as of October 1, 2021 of this vehicle at $22,000 US. Please do not hesitate to contact me. Any further questions? So,
I just want to comment about that engine thing, the changed engine. I had a problem with my engine. I blew the engine in a American town. And I was gonna put a new one in, or a used one. And the quote was outrageous. It was double the price of the value of the car. But the reason that somebody suggested not, in my case, not doing it is because that's the engine. But what about all the other pieces? So you might have a newer engine in there. They don't know, you might get one that's only a couple of years old. But it doesn't mean the car's gonna last any longer because there's the turbines, there's all that other stuff, the body of the car, all that stuff. It is like whatever, my car was, I think, up 12 years old at the time. So it doesn't really, I can see where it won't increase the value of the car because the rest of the car is the same way as well.
No, it differs from a first car.
You drive it.
It really brings it very, very.
Yeah, you drive the car, but it's not, big deal, so, anyway.
So what did you purchase that car for? And I guess when?
I think it was like 88, 90, somewhere around there. That was 2016. And Maserati is another thing. You know what? You buy it and the value significantly increases. And there's a lot of, I guess there are very high maintenance costs on the car. So like, for example, next week I'm going to take it for 10,000 miles. Every 10,000 miles you take it, or just for like an overview, change the oil, change the oil filter. You guys want to take a guess at how much that is?
No. $3,000?
Well, no, it's only 1,900, but it's still,
A lot for that.
yeah, that's every 10,000
And I
miles, because assuming nothing else goes wrong,
And I
right?
guess that's not the car you take back to Jiffy Lube and get the $49 special on.
You're not taking my car to Jiffy Lube at all.
Only kidding. I don't take mine there
You
either.
don't even drive by Jiffy Lube with that car.
So what does the town have it?
$44,000.
in
Judy
your
second,
thing?
So, and then besides, you have all the paint chips beside the engine, and that's a problem because of the paint. And then you don't have original paint on it, and the paint it never goes
So these
matches.
patches are
So
activation
I just forgot to
That's what I'm
mention
trying to
this,
figure out.
A chip on the front spoiler on
This
the front
last year, there was a-
spoiler. I actually,
It got confusing, and we didn't clarify.
So.
okay.
So Judy, just to clarify, the town's appraised value is 44 and you're asking 22 appraised?
Yeah, that is the clean retail value as
Retail,
per
okay.
the appraised.
And the town's appraised 44, not?
Yeah, but I have the clean retail value.
Yeah, okay. And
All right.
Someone's got the mileage,
Well-
I missed that, but.
All right, so, I don't know whether you can see
Do
this.
we have the mileage, Judy, on that?
It's about 40.
And that was
It
the
would have been
October
about
one,
38,000
38,000 miles?
October.
Okay.
You might be able to see that little chip here. There's a slight little chip under the badge. This is in the right, in the front
I would
spoiler,
choose
there's a little piece here, and this is more interesting in back. Yeah.
We have a wedding this weekend, and I'm just like,
Why did you replace the motor? I'm just curious, the engine, just curious. Was there
Because there was
damage?
a problem with the engine through no fault of mine. So I do have JD Power, right, so that's a Mercedes-Benz one.
Oh, you wanna put that on here?
Yeah, I could do that.
You should be the first one.
And this is trade-in, and then for the Maserati JD Power, the low retail is a 32 Ford. I'm not even anywhere close to that. The average retail is 43. And then if we look at the Kelly Blue Book, the trade-in value on the Maserati is 27. That was, I dated these as of October 1. Okay?
And that retail value on that car, is that based on what's the different engine in it, or is that direct?
No, they're not even accounting for it.
I didn't think they would.
Right.
Right. So all these numbers you gave us is without the issue of the engine change, the swap out.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
All right, and if you want pictures of the Mercedes here, I'm gonna show you a couple, I can add those to the file.
Okay, that goes on this one.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you. Anyone have other questions? Comments, concerns? That's a no? Okay, thank you, Judy. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Right now, there's no one waiting, but we did allow people an extra time, so let's give it a while before we move on to the rest of the deliberations. But I think,
Wait, did we do the Mercedes?
yeah, we did that before. We did that, you just came in with the Mercedes. That was the first one we did.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was appeal 1, right, the Mercedes?
Yeah, that was appeal number 1. And we're gonna, even though we didn't hear them in order, we're gonna deliberate in order. Make it easier.
Well, you could deliberate mine and I'll walk out of the room,
Okay,
save time.
you can do that.
I mean, I'd like the book, I don't know if I'd like to invite Ken to come up and manage the book for us, because that's where I like the numbers from the NADA book. But so okay, I'll take a minute, go down and ask him to come up, so he can look up the numbers.
We have another book.
I have a really hard time
I have a hard
navigating that,
time.
I don't wanna make any mistakes.
Yeah, I looked at the stuff Ross sent us, and I had a hard time, then I finally got it, but
Yeah,
don't know that I remember it.
I don't even have glasses enough to look in that book or make sure we're asking the right
But,
questions, so. Just to interpret the book, I'm not looking for his advice, I
you
just
know, we
want
can ask
to.
him to interpret the book, I'm okay with that, but
Yeah,
I just want to say, I was going to say to start deliberations, but since we brought up the book, that's fine. I read what Ross sent us, and I want us to keep in mind a few things. One, that the state statutes recommend using that book. They don't, it's not a mandate, it's not an insistence, it's a recommendation. It also says that in the handbook, that it's recommended, but they also, towns can also use two other systems, I looked them up, they aren't cited it, and internet and other resources to supplement the book. So we're not going only by the book. I'm not anyway, I don't think we should, because it says right here, these other sources. Let's see, I think that was that. Yeah, because this is the rest of Ross's stuff, so. And where he describes what clean retail value means, we'll keep that in mind.
I have one question,
Mhm.
because I'm new to this. I'm trying to understand when the appellants are discussing something like mileage, and they feel, how do we, it's so much clearer on real estate, we have all the data in front of us. How do we know what miles were put into the town determination? So how do we know that I'm just making up, one person says, my miles are 130,000. How do we know what miles were based on the appraised value?
Well, because it tells you that there's a system that NADA uses. I don't agree with it. I did it out, I used their example.
So it's based on the age of the car?
Did you see there is an explanation that
Ross sent us an
Of the
explanation.
miles?
Yeah, here, I have an
On the second
explanation.
page.
Oh, on the second page.
Common
But
Okay.
if you, I thought
There's a
maybe I'm
letter, and
wrong.
then the second page is the common BAA adjustment.
Maybe I'm wrong, but when I did it out, it looked like they were allowing too much mileage every year. Because, this is what I have a problem with. Clean market, clean retail value. Well, who determines clean retail value? Not. And so then they say, well, 50,000 miles a year is average. It isn't. go to a car dealer and try to trade in a car with that many miles on it. And you say, well, I only drove 15,000 miles a year. Sorry, you get a lease, what do they allow? Their expectation is 10,000. If you wanna buy more miles, because you know you're gonna do it, well,
12.
the ones the leases I've been in, it's
Mine,
10.
mine has been 12.
I have to buy extra miles, I guess BMW allows it, but, yeah, it's 10.
I thought that your primary car was 12. What?
So even if it was 12, it's still less than 15. So I just don't think that that's accurate. I think we should base it on what is, what the
And then like
expectation is in the
things
marketplace.
okay, so normal wear and tear.
Cars
That's
hitting the
normal
door,
wear and
that's,
tear
yeah.
though, right?
Well,
It is.
I don't know, guys,
I think it is.
I don't have any on my car.
Well, do you park it away from the?
Yeah, of course I do, you know that.
And that's why.
And no one
But,
drives
you know,
it.
most people go to Stop and Shop, they
Oh,
pull
no.
into a spot and then they're.
That would never happen.
That's normal wear and
Yeah.
tear.
No, I would not do that. I don't do it. Lucky for me, I don't have to.
And I don't consider
A
that.
handicapped thing saved that car many times over. Yeah, that's-
Even like, you know, a small branch falling off.
No, that's,
Acorn on the
that
top.
is, yeah, acorn,
And
that's,
then a
that's
rock on
not
the
what I do.
highway, I mean.
Here's a new one I never heard of
Where
before.
is it? Chips paint.
I never heard of this till the other day when my brother came home and told me. He was at the beach, and he parked his car, and when he came back to the car to leave, there was a big dent in the roof,
Seashell.
and seashell crumbs,
Uh-huh.
because the seagull had dropped their, whatever they were gonna eat on it to crack the shell. Oh my God! I made a
That's
big
what
mess.
they do, they drop it in the parking lot, so it shatters and then they dive down.
This time they hit his car, they didn't land in the parking lot, landed on the car, scratched up the whole thing, what a mess.
Wow.
Brand new car.
I think it would've been a lot nicer if you just peed on the car.
Really? So it was like, but you know what, I don't worry about that, because here's what I said to him. What are you getting excited for? It's a lease, you're gonna get the car back, don't worry about it. I don't care. Take it down to somebody, have it busted out, no good.
Like you take
They use a card, and they have a thing on it that if it's bigger than what they show,
Right.
you're gonna pay.
Right.
But yeah, those little things are normal learning things.
Well, and another thing, I noted, I was reading the helpful hints for the motor vehicle to see what our appellants are
Looking at.
learning. And I didn't see anywhere in the helpful hints that it discussed the date cutoff, where if you're telling us things that happened in this year, they are not valid because there's a scope date, there's nothing about a cutoff date.
To be honest with you,
In all fairness, I can see why they're discussing accidents that happened 3 months ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't know, because there's no information to tell them any differently.
and to be honest with you, I sent out an email in the beginning about this, and I was saying how my car was way overvalued. And then I looked at it again and realized that I was looking at the wrong year. Then I sent another one and said I was mistaken, I'm not gonna appeal, which I didn't. I forgot that it was 2021.
Uh-huh,
I was thinking now. So,
uh-huh.
so it is, I think people should know, but I didn't forget. It's like, you have to tell them.
It doesn't
Remember,
say
it's only
evaluation.
this.
Of 2021?
I clicked
Pat, did you
on,
wanna go get Wells, or you wanna call, what do you wanna, I'm sorry, Kathy, oh, Kathleen, I'm sorry, Kathleen, did you wanna go get Ken or call him on the phone?
I did, I think,
Oh, okay,
I think it's helpful if we're gonna
Yeah.
wait anyway to have you look up the
Yeah.
miles.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna want that number from the book, and then,
Okay, that's fine.
okay, let me go get
you know,
it.
it says what to support.
But you really.
He has all these
Yeah.
sheets, right?
The only indication is
Probably
that
not
it's
half the mile.
valuation, but.
Can you give me with that
Do you
on
mind
their,
if I get, these are the
on their
7 appeals,
bill?
right?
Yep, these are all of them right here.
And I can probably read them.
Yeah,
all,
no,
get them
Yeah, but this is the
tag.
helpful hints
No, I
that they're
agree.
using to like
It's
decide whether they're gonna
no,
appeal or not.
whatever, like you need a magnifying glass.
Look, it's hard to understand.
Yeah, it is hard.
The other thing I will say is that a couple of years ago, I had a different car, and I was not happy with the value the town put on it. So I went into the assessor's office, and I said, let me see that NADA book, because I knew that's what they used. I didn't have access to one. And I looked at it, and he showed, the girl at the desk showed me how to read it, because it's hard to understand. And I looked at him and I said, this is way too high. This is the highest assessment out of every place I looked. Kelly Blue Book, Edmunds, all that stuff. And he said, I know. I said, well, then why do we use it? And he said, he laughed, and he said, that is why we use it.
Yeah, it's almost like we should use an average,
They
like
use it, and it's
when
not
you
just
get
him, I mean,
bids, you know,
this is what
you
the
take
state
it
puts
at,
into
like,
use. So,
for real estate, right, we get it
mhm.
for a credit
Yep, no.
on a
Yep.
thing, we get 3 bids, and we do the
Not a-
average, and then we determine
Yeah,
that to be the
yeah, not
value.
as like Zillow, they just make it up. You do that wrong, because what,
PFA method.
yeah. Yeah. And it's, I don't mean to say that was Ross's fault, that's the book they gave him, so he was laughing, because that's what the state uses. He just goes by what the state uses, so.
I'm like,
Remember you hear the year that we were doing that, I got so pissed off, I took the book and threw it over my head.
Yeah, you did, you know anything about this? That's pretty close, yeah. I love
That's different, close it.
we're not judging you, Judy. Judge Judy.
Well, you know, JP, so people used to call me Judge Judy all the time. I married people.
Kathy? I wish probably turn the tape off, because we're not gonna really discuss any more stuff for now. I'll put that on one. Okay. I'm gonna do that down to another versus that, yeah. Did somebody get paid to write that, because it's the same line over and over and over again?
I'd rather be.
Can I run downstairs real quick just for this one?
Yeah.
Because all I want to do is pump out, you know, some of these, you'll notice like 7 and 8, and the ones that I kind of hope, I actually printed out the actual, from our system, if you will, to verify the fact that the assessed value that they were conveying was actually the correct assessed value. But some of these I haven't. So what I'd like to do is at least grab this one, number 3, get what I need, and then I know what my baseline is.
Sure.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, 'cause we had some confusion over what was assessed and appraised, right, and what they were asking for, and I can't find it back, so.
Go ahead. Go up those stairs.
Yeah.
No, that's right, I remember, okay.
Oh, how'd it go? Well, I don't know, that's all I'm saying. Oh, last year. And then, I did do that, no, I can't work full time, I'm waiting enough time to keep on.
It's when you go
Then I
into,
find out I'm working.
Atlantic City.
You're later tonight.
Oh, really?
We'll have to talk about it again. You have to be, the rehearsal,
I was at 4 in my head.
so,
What are you doing in your head?
I'm not packed or
I'm
anything.
trying
Oh,
to
you want,
determine,
you're on number 8, all right. Is it one of you getting married?
One of John's daughters.
yeah, this is at number 8.
Between us, we have 4, I have 2 boys, and he has 2 girls, so this is the first of the 4 getting married, so.
So,
Yeah.
Probably gonna be like one of you.
There's another, one of my sons is getting married.
Kelly's losing the value of 46.
And,
So what's
yeah,
46
10,
times
yeah.
0.7?
What am I getting married? September, times what?
Point
Times 27?
Yes.
You're
Times
Yeah,
point
the
seven.
stress levels
Oh,
go,
I wanna
you
get
know, up
37.
and down.
Is that 38, 850?
Yeah.
I think we're lucky with boys now, and I think probably, right, 32, 37, and 360.
So I'm hoping it's different other than my
Okay.
son is
So-
detail first.
All right, put that under the last one, that girl.
Yeah, so we're talking about $6,000 difference. So what's $6,000 times
fun,
40?
you're like, Mom, I need your help.
Yeah, I know, it's not a lot of money. It's really not a lot of
Yeah,
money.
he's a fighting guy, he needs to have the cost, and it's, his said, he's like, I could buy a house, you know, we could have a big down payment for the cost of what this is. And it's gonna be in LA,
No, it's
so it's West Coast wedding, so, you know, I have no idea locations and logistics. She's from there, so.
You don't know where it is off the top of your head.
They are, but they get daily care from one of the 5 of our kids, so.
Going?
Yeah, my niece getting married in December in the Boston area, and I don't, might take my mom,
It's never a lot of money. It's never. We have somebody
She's
last
got
time.
some, you know, dementia or whatever, so it's.
And you're Roman Catholic.
We kind of-
Probably didn't realize that.
No, she knew. Okay.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about
I was
that.
gonna have to take $5 on my pocket.
What means $6,000 times .027 what?
No, I do have, I call him my adopted third son, and they did just ask him to marry them, so I feel
Okay,
bad about that.
okay, $160.
Kid, a guy from Jamaica, he's older than them, so he became a part of our family over the last 16 years, we asked him to marry them, so I feel better about that. He's not a priest, but, no, and she's not religious, yeah. Anyway.
I gotta go to freaking Stanford on Friday, I hate to go on Friday.
So Kelly Blue Book, okay, so let's do another one, 22,000 times 27.
Can you believe they have to read those little books like that?
They don't make those books big.
No, unfortunately, they've been this size ever since I got into the business.
Why did they make it? So before we
I
get started, I just have to say, you have a really cool mustache.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Oh my God, it is like, how long does it take you to do that?
I started in 2018, so this is like, I'm going into my 5th year of working on it.
Really?
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
I've reached the point of no return. Let's see, 2F5. Next.
Yeah,
19E.
the town value is the same value that she paid for it 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a.
She purchased it for 6.
Okay,
That says it all.
Right? I totally understand, yep.
okay.
I'm
So,
still not an electric girl. Me neither.
can I ask you one question as it relates to this
Sure.
given vehicle, the Civic? I just verified the fact that it did, the 19,800 value, full value, it was correct out of the book. Having said that, I see a notation here of high mileage, and with that, I was wondering what that high mileage was.
I think they all told us what they were.
Yeah, he said one, I have 110 as of October
Wait a second,
1.
I'm on
Yeah.
the wrong one.
I remember
October 121. And some damage, right? It was stolen in 2022, but that was after.
That doesn't count, I'm
Right.
sorry.
Right, he'll have to come back next year for that, right.
Yeah, I feel bad about that, too, but again, they don't, like you said, there's not.
They don't know.
Records are not.
So
I will
he's
tell
saying
you,
a-
we should have told them.
110 in
As of
October.
October 1 of 2021.
21.
Right,
Okay,
now
all right.
124, yeah.
Could that book, what is the purpose of the size of that book?
Make it difficult for you to argue about it.
Oh
my God,
We're
right?
driving over, and went in to get the food, and
Yeah.
got in his car and drove off.
How did the state ever show, this is charges to it?
And then he found it 8 days later in, Waterbury.
Mm.
Mine was stolen too, but Waterbury, but it was totaled when I
Oh,
found
yeah.
it.
Now,
yours was stolen?
people are not charging.
Out of my driveway.
Here?
Yep.
Stony Brook?
No,
The other
I was
one?
we were renting
Well, that's it.
we were behind the police station on Catherine Street. I know, right by the police station. My father was dead, so I don't know.
They're amazing.
And it was the bus partner for the ballet.
Yeah.
So if you do the mileage,
Are we on?
We're on, I think.
Okay.
if you do the mileage adjustment based on, 110,000 as of October 1, 2021, you'd end up with an adjustment of minus $2,200 as it relates to this given year. Okay?
Now, I have a question while we're on the mileage thing. So, do you happen to know what they're basing that on? Like, how many miles a year are they saying doesn't count? Because it said something, I was reading one of the things, and something about, high mileage is kind of based on different things for different people. What do they think high mileage is? Is it based on a year, like?
Yeah, it's based on a year,
Okay.
and usage, and that's one of the main reasons why, obviously, the assessors utilize this book, because statistically, they're putting that together. They're amassing all the sales that occur and retail sales of you get a vehicle, as well as, okay, what's the differential of a high mileage vehicle from another? Let's put it this way, like for that 110, it would be a 2014 vehicle that would be considered for harmless, meaning it's got the normal amount for a 2014.
And that's my
vehicle.
question, what do they consider the normal amount per year?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know, I'd have to do the calculation on that, but
There's like, they have a standard, like,
I would assume that it's.
On the 18, it probably has it in the column, right? Like what would have been the normal miles on it, on that car?
It depends on the
Because
car.
110 was too high. It might.
Why is
People
the
probably
normal
drive
mileage
some cars more.
standard by
it should be,
12,000?
it should be a
Well, it
standard
doesn't matter
number.
what the car.
Yeah, probably, they're looking at 15 to 20,000 miles as being the standard.
A year.
Well, that's
A
not
year.
big difference, that's
Ridiculous.
5,000 miles.
That's way too high.
That's way
Well,
too
but
high.
that's what they're,
That's what they-
that's what I'm looking at here. I'm saying to
No, I'm just
myself,
saying, I
okay,
understand.
if I look at a 2021 vehicle, you know, you could have less mileage, where they're giving you more money because it's got less mileage, and they're saying, okay, if you're 15 to 20, you're considered the standard for a one-year vehicle.
So basically,
Even
it's all-
AAA, that's 12.
it's just, I mean, I understand, that's the way, I know it's not your numbers,
I mean,
I'm not arguing with you, it's just,
You know,
I
but,
find
oh
that
yeah,
to be ridiculous.
I mean, the adjustments, you know, obviously, if it was a 10,000 mile vehicle, let's say it was 10,000 for this Civic, for a brand new Civic, it would be, if it was 10,000, it would be $200. You know, the price differential would be $200. Now, you could say that isn't significant enough, you know what I mean, for 10,000 to 15,000 or 10 to 20, but that's what it is in this book.
And that's
Well,
what
then I
Civic
just want to
LX,
make a
right?
point, these are guidelines, this is not mandated.
It's not a law, it's a guideline.
Okay.
Well, it is
not
a guide,
mandated.
but to be
No.
fair, right, all 169 towns use the book to calculate
Yeah,
their
I
value.
mean, this,
It's not like each town uses
No, no,
it.
everybody uses
Kelly Blue
the
Book.
same guideline, yeah. I
Everybody
understand.
uses the book.
Everybody uses the book, which has the wrong numbers in it for the average car and the average plate. That doesn't make it right, it's just that that's what they use, it's the way it is, I mean, I
But
understand
to
that.
make it, I mean, you know, if you want to make it fair for everybody in town, you kind of have to use the same standard to value everybody in town. That's
well,
sort of how, like, if you use NADA, they use NADA for all of our bills. Everybody in town is,
Right.
you know, even if they say the mileage is too high, at least we're taxing everybody fairly, so their piece of the pie is what it should be, right?
Right.
Regardless of the value, because the town could have it really, really high, but their piece of the pie, as long as everybody's got
Well,
their fair share of the pie.
it cuts both ways too. You know, I have friends that have nice cars that they don't drive that often. And with that, there's an assumption of
Right.
mileage that's being put on those cars, which I know
It's not.
has not taken place.
Which was my case.
So with that, their valuation is probably, too conservative, you know what I mean? It should be more, because they got low mileage vehicles. But, I mean, you know, the limitation of the system is to utilize, you know, the NADA value guide, and then say, okay, assuming average condition. And then when people have outlier circumstances, then they come in and see us.
So,
But a
okay,
car shouldn't be valued all solely on mileage.
It's not, you know, like I said, these books are compiled based on sales. They're not just numbers. I would like to think that there's a fair amount of research that goes into putting this book together,
Let's
not
remember
just
who put it
people just
together.
randomly putting numbers in the
but
book.
let's remember where it comes from. The state uses it, I say no more. They have the lowest standards of anybody, any state, not just our state.
Well,
So they're using this book,
it's-
but that's not maybe the best authority, that's the one they choose to use.
Sure. But I mean, I'm just saying that I believe this is derived from somewhere.
Oh, sure,
You
yeah.
know, I mean, and J.D. Power didn't just say, oh, I'm gonna sit down here and just start scribbling numbers down. You know, I think there's gotta be some level of validation that takes place, I would think.
And Connecticut's not the only state that uses.
Everybody uses it.
Not,
Yeah, yeah.
no.
I guess my objection is that I disagree with the thought that, well, so what if it's overvalued because everybody's paying a piece of the pie? Everybody shouldn't be. Everybody should be paying less if they're overvalued. My house is worth X amount of dollars, hers is worth X amount of dollars. They shouldn't be the same if they're not equal, if there's something different or something wrong, or something derogatory. You know, this is a standard. I go into a house, this is what I expect to see for this price. If I see something a lot worse, then it should be a lot less money. Same thing with mileage. This is the mileage it should be. This is what I'm expecting. If it's a lot more mileage, it should be valued the same way. And I think that 15 to 20,000 miles a year is just too much. 10 to 12 is what every standard around here is. Go to any car dealer, any place to go to get your car valued. Go to Kelly Blue Book, with everybody. 10 to 12, not 15 to 20. That's a huge difference. Between 20 and 15, that's 5,000 miles a year. I'm sorry, it's 8,000 between 20 and 12. 8,000 miles a year times 5 years. That's a lot of mileage on a car. I'm just saying, I mean, I don't see why, but.
All right, I have one question. So, he did have a front grille broken, and he had some damage from the when it was stolen. But there was also some damage to the car prior to that. His front grille was broken. He said there were burns on the seat. And I don't know if the rash on the wheels would have come from the accident, or probably not, Judy, right? That rash- So, for example, I'm assuming this number is average condition or good, what do we call it, clean?
Mm-hmm.
And what is so if it was average condition, what would it go down to? I wouldn't say his car's in rough shape. No, I mean, maybe more after the accident, but not. So in other words, the book is assuming, that it's, whatever, that it's the dents and everything, right, as the condition is.
Well, I mean,
Normal wear and tear, I
the
think.
assumption is that it's retail clean, is what they're looking at. And, obviously, we could all argue who here has a retail clean vehicle.
Right.
I know I don't, you know what I mean? But, and there you go, maybe you're getting away with something.
Right.
But it's just one of those things that becomes short of having a parade with all the vehicles coming through town, and we're, kicking the tires on every one of them. The state mandates that we value, and this is, I've been in the business for 34 years now, and, this is what we've utilized. And I'm not defending it, I'm just saying this is what we've always
clean
gone
market
about.
value supposed to be like fair market value, like clean retail value? Is that
Clean retail value as
is
of
like
October
fair
1 of
market
every
value?
given this year. Yep.
Yes.
And,
So I should be able to buy that car for that price if it's me.
I don't think so.
well, that's what, if you were to walk on a lot and they had it all, polished up and clean and looking for you, that would be the number that
That
we're
would be the
gonna.
number, so it is like a market value.
Yeah.
This is, okay, that's what I was just getting, yeah,
Yep.
I get it.
So what were you asking now? You
So I was
wanted
just
me
saying,
to?
we don't adjust for normal wear and tear, but, so that would be the clean, right? But say we took it down one notch to average condition, or whatever one left is in the
Okay.
book, so
Let me,
it's like a percentage off, right? I think percentage off the trade-in value and apply it to the clean retail. I mean, I think 10,200 is too low.
Yeah.
And that came from, and, the accident didn't happen, so we can't take the accident, and he could come back next year because of the accident.
Right, you can come back
They
there.
can appeal every year on the auto, it's not like the retail, it's not like the,
I think the wheels, we gotta take in those wheels.
as I said, the wheels and the front bumper, yeah. So that's why I said if we see what it looks like when it's average condition as opposed to
Oh, that's great.
normal.
Getting the NADA numbers now, we're not deliberating.
No.
Okay, just not.
I would say that, I don't know what I would say about average condition.
No, that's not average.
That's not average condition, if we're, not that we're deliberating now, but we're looking at what that, to figure out how to use the book. I wouldn't consider a car with banged up wheels like that.
Right, that's what I'm
That's not
saying.
average.
I wouldn't call that normal wear and tear. He has more wear, so that's why I'm trying to go one step down from normal wear and tear to whatever, as opposed to clean, then you go to average.
That's what you should be looking at. Here we go. All right, so it's clean, average, then after that comes rough.
Right, I don't know that
And
it's.
that doesn't have mechanical defects.
if you were gonna take it down, I mean, based on, we don't really have, some guidebooks have like good,
Four
grade,
or five levels.
they have 4 levels. The NADA value guide does not have that.
We understand.
It just has the clean retail, it has a loan value, it has a trade-in and all that goods, and then it has an average trade-in and then a rough trade-in, is the way it goes. So it's talking about purely trade-in. So what I was trying to do is calculate out a percentage from when a clean trade-in from an average trade-in, and it ends up being about 6% difference. Okay, so if I were to project, and I'm not asking you to, I'm not asking you to subscribe to what I'm saying, I'm just telling you
No,
what
that
I'm
makes
doing.
sense.
And so I take the value of $19,800 of that's without doing any mileage adjustment, and just saying, okay, now I'm gonna take that 6% off, and I'm gonna come up with $18,600 for a value for the vehicle. Now that's, again, that's purely based on the outer condition of the vehicle. I did not see the outer condition of the vehicle. If you wanted to say, oh, it's rougher than that, then I would, but nevertheless, that would be, how I derive the 18,600. And then, like I said, that's not with the 22 for the high mileage adjustment.
22 off for the.
Yeah,
So 16,400 in this particular vehicle,
that would be,
just that particular vehicle. Yeah.
right.
Now, I just so I'm clear, I want to make sure I misunderstood. That 6% that you're reducing it, that would be on any car that's in that same condition, or just that car?
Well, is that a
number you can use
it would be
to say
for that, I calculated that based on the numbers that are related to that given vehicle. So it's not, if you were to have a Maserati or something like that, well, that number could be different.
Well, the total could be different, but then we can't say that at clean whatever is 100%. Now, at average, does it go down 6% for every car? No, it goes down based on the car.
It's based on the number.
Because it's probably based on replacement costs, I mean,
Yeah.
quite honestly,
That's-
$1,000 still doesn't do it. For him to fix that car to clean is more than $1,000. And I don't even know cars, and I know that much.
You can
I
get
know.
it for $1,000 today.
I mean,
Okay, but if we took them to
It doesn't
average
make sense.
using that formula, we're talking about
Yeah.
taking the 19,800 to 18,600 and then 2,200 for the mileage, right?
you can
Right.
by
Okay.
27.
So then
So
you'd
that's
be-
the math, and then we can decide whether we want to do from there, I just wanted the math done. Okay.
18.6
Yeah,
minus the
I
2,200
wish
Yeah.
it was something
equals 16.4.
16,400.
Times
And then,
70%.
well, believe me,
16%
that's-
times 70%.
if you guys decide
For a
to
set.
go more than that, then that's,
Right.
that's,
Or
you guys saw the car, I'm just punching numbers here.
Mhm.
So it's paying tax on 11,400 maybe.
It's almost interesting, because at least in real estate, there's an objective discount that we can, their hands are tied, they don't.
Well, no, it's not them, they don't know, they can't, They're hesitant, but ours aren't.
No, right, but I mean, even the assessor on real
Or
estate
denied
has
it, there was this
discount.
middle.
Yeah.
There was no in part.
What is not found by any book.
I mean, he asked for a number, right? Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, Ken, thanks.
that was helpful. and
Thank you very much.
enlightening. Thank you.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
so I'm gonna take this and,
I would do it the normal way.
you want me to
have
hand
know
this
what
off to
the
you,
range
or?
was at.
Oh, yeah, just hand them all back.
Okay, you want them all?
Yeah, we want
Yeah,
them
we're gonna do them all now.
You're gonna all rattle them off? Oh, okay, all right.
We're just gonna, I think we're gonna just start.
I think we
taking
wanted
some
you to
things. I
do
think
one,
we're ready
just to give us an idea.
Yeah, I wanted to
Okay.
see what we could do, I
All right,
really-
if you,
I
Why do we
want the
just have-
numbers
Yeah,
for
why
all
don't we
of
just
them.
have them do it for all?
Because we'll be here till midnight.
Well, if
No,
he
I
just-
don't think that
he goes-
was-
he can do, go do them.
I don't know why we can't figure it out, I mean,
I can't figure it out from that book, I can tell you that.
well, here's three. Did you have another one that you wanted me to look up, or? I mean, I'm more than willing to do it, that's for sure, and I can be doing it while you're discussing what you're gonna do on that one.
can I borrow the book? So I don't,
13,
what?
2002 to 2013. Might need,
Yeah, this is good.
That's you,
I don't
yeah.
need this one, I need the other one. Okay, here we go.
I mean, do we wanna do the number 4 next, that Camry?
well, yeah, but are we gonna vote on that, or what?
I don't know, you decided
Here's
you
the
wanted.
thing, I thought, I'm understanding that we're asking him to come up here and help us understand the book and figure it out. So he did this one for us to show us an example of what you do. I don't expect him to sit here as part of this group and go through every one of these for us. We've never done it that way in the whole time I've ever been on the board. Helene? Have you ever
All
seen it
we're
that way?
asking you to do is give us what
Run
the
the
numbers
numbers.
is, and then we can decide I mean,
It's faster for
And
them.
the only differential here is mileage, that would be the only way this would be changing, is mileage, right?
Well, he can do the.
Yeah,
He
I
can
mean,
do the
Well, I guess we
condition
should say the
too. He
condition.
can look at the condition, because some of them are very expensive cars, and so in that case, a difference in condition may very well take a large amount off.
As long
where
as
for
we
a
don't
Civic, it's not.
continue to discuss it for every single time we need a number. Let's just get the numbers,
And
get
go
it,
on.
and then.
Yeah, I
and then
agree.
deliberate. Like, oh, let's
I
be
disagree,
here
but if
all
that's,
night.
I disagree, but if that's consensus, let's go with it. I'm just voicing my opinion. If we're gonna do that, there's no reason for a board of assessment appeals, you can go to the assessor's office, just get it done.
That's 19.
Save everybody a lot of trouble.
They
Number
can't do it
4.
in the assessor's office, only we can do it.
They can go in individually, and then they have to bring it to us and say you approve it.
print it out.
Yeah, but we don't make them apply ahead of time, otherwise if we did, then we could save ourselves a lot of grief, right, and time.
Unfortunately, I might
Well,
have
maybe
to
we
run downstairs.
could start deliberating while he's doing other ones, if he's telling you to do that, and he can focus on what he's doing, and we can focus on what we're doing, and we can get
Yeah,
out
I'm
of
gonna
this
print
tomorrow.
out
We haven't
these
even,
two,
we
and then I'll
took one
rattle
appeal,
I know.
or we haven't even deliberated one.
Right, you wanna
So let's
let's deliberate this one
Okay,
then.
this one then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
So is there a
let's
motion on the table, or?
do it. Wait a minute, though, let's, I don't even know what we did, so let's, I mean, for the record, I think we need to say what we're doing, what, you know.
We're at
Okay.
number 3.
So this is appeal number 3. We're now starting deliberations. This is
Do you
appeal
have
number.
it? Do you have the appeal number?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Oh, appeal number 3, okay? This is for a,
That's
2018.
Oh, here it is.
2018 Honda Civic.
what's 2018 Honda Civic, okay. And did we ever find out if the value that's on here, that was the assessed value or the appraised value?
The appraised.
That's the appraised town value,
We
town
don't know
value.
whether he asked for assessed or appraised. I believe he asked for appraised because he said the car max.
That's
He used
appraised
the car max value, so I'm guessing that was the.
Okay, so it's probably the appraised, okay.
Mhm.
Town value 19,800, Teller's asking for a value of 10,200. And after having looked at the NADA book,
Condition and mileage.
condition and mileage, okay, so we came up with, the book tells us that a car with 110,000 miles, like his does, okay?
Or should we be doing this like the residential, I'm
So
sorry?
we need to make a motion, you have to have a motion.
We need to make a motion, and somebody's gotta say.
Here's what we'll do, we're making a motion, we are not seconding any motion. We don't have to, using Robert's rules for a small board,
Okay.
we don't have to. So somebody make a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve this appeal and reduce the town's appraised value from 19,800 to the appellant's requested value of 10,200.
Okay, now we'll discuss. So what do we have? We have for mileage, let's talk about mileage. The book tells us that we should be deducting 2,200 based on high mileage for this car. Okay? Because of the condition of the car, the book is saying that he gets a 6% discount in overall condition. Is everybody in agreement with that?
6% should come off the
The top.
number first.
Yeah, and then we take the
you
mileage,
take
yeah,
the-
yeah.
Right, okay.
Okay? So it comes out to a difference of,
Yeah, if we're assuming the car is like average as opposed to clean,
well,
right?
we thought,
Pull it
we're
down.
assuming, yeah, we're
Yeah.
assuming that it's average.
And we know that the damage from the accident can't be considered at this time.
Right, we can't consider that.
And I
That's
hope
next
they will
year.
call him and let him know that.
They won't.
Come back.
They won't.
Okay, maybe we
I
can.
feel like that was.
Somebody
We
should tell him.
can.
We can call him, yeah. If he goes, oh, he got a phone number here, I give him a call and tell him that,
Yeah.
you know, that, explain that that's gotta be, he's gotta come back for that.
Yep.
Okay. So based on that information, I believe that the book value would then be, based on condition and mileage, $11,480, and he's requesting a value of $10,200.
Well, I thought 16.4.
Wait a minute,
Oh,
yeah, that
okay.
doesn't sound right.
16.4 would be the appraised value, the assessed value would be 11.
I'm sorry, yeah, okay, so 16, yeah, I'm sorry, 16.4 would be the appraised value, book value.
11,000 or
And 11,000 for the assessed.
And we're certain that when these people are making these quotes, that they are doing apples to apples, appraisal to appraisal, and not their appraisal to the assessment.
Well,
Are
here's
we
the thing,
sure?
What it says right here is opinion of fair market value. So
Okay.
he believes the fair market value of his car is $10,200.
Okay.
So that's, he's not saying that's the
Okay,
assessed value.
okay.
He's saying that's the fair market value. We have to go with that, we have no other way to do it. Anybody have anything, anybody think differently about that? I mean, that's what he says he thinks, not what we think, it's what he thinks.
I just wanted to make sure we were talking in phrase,
Yeah.
value and not assessed.
Well, right now, we're talking appraised, yep.
Okay.
Basically, we're talking appraised versus
So
fair market value.
I'll make a motion, to, grant the appeal in part to, I'm gonna say 15,400. That takes into account the condition and mileage and a little bit more.
Yes, actually, you have to amend we have to amend it, right, it's an amendment or whatever.
Oh, my God.
I know, we had the original, maybe we don't, I don't know.
So that's 1,000 less than.
It's 1,000 less than what the book is saying. Anybody want to discuss that?
Well, we know that his value is based on pretty significant other issues based
Right,
on the
he included that,
accident.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I tend to.
And then he keeps the
Okay.
rate next year with
Yeah,
them,
so-
after each year.
Yeah.
And his value is also from CarMax, which is obviously is always lower than the Nada. We know that, right?
Yep, but I don't mind that because I believe that NADA is too high. So somewhere in the middle is probably the real
I
number.
agree with that, yeah.
They have the highest value out there, so, but, you know, it is what it is. That's what they say it is. So.
I think we can vote.
Yeah.
15,000.
I make a motion, or we good?
I don't think, well, we don't have to second any motion, I just don't think it's enough. Because I think that the mileage issue, we allow 2,200 for high mileage, is that correct? Yeah. So, I don't know that that's enough. At an average of 10 to 12,000 miles a year, which is what I believe is correct. Anybody else believe that?
Well, you know, if we took an average of those numbers, we'd end up with 13.3 for the appraised value.
13.3? That would be that, for that, just the mileage, not talking about that act or anything else. We just,
Right.
okay. So,
I prefer that we try to treat everybody as equal as we can when it comes to
we
the,
will, we're gonna treat everybody the same.
which is using Nada and then.
That is a recommendation, it's not a rule for us, so we do not have to use it, but that's your opinion, I understand. I'm just saying that I don't agree with it. Is there anybody else who doesn't agree with that? And we're doing this all night? Okay, so, all right, so Peter, you wanted to amend to an in part.
Correct.
Now I don't know how to do this, because I wanted to amend that to a lower number, so I'm not sure how to do
We can
that.
vote on the 15.4, and if there's not support to
Okay.
amend it,
All
then
right,
it
so
fails.
then let's take a vote, because we don't need a second.
Yes.
So let's take a vote. All in favor of renting in part to a value of 15,400, I believe it was. Please raise your hand.
I'm gonna go with that.
Motion carries.
So was the vote 5-1?
5-1.
As long
And
as.
I think we should
One
make,
major
I
call.
think we should make a note to this guy that he should come back next year.
Yes.
Because he
Yeah.
does have a case for it, for the additional
Yep.
mileage and damage done to his car during, February
Yes.
2022.
Yes,
I'm
and
gonna
actually, if he goes and fixes it, it's
Yeah.
okay, because it's on the record, that's right. I mean, he can go and fix it
I
for
mean,
next
can
year.
that go in that letter? I mean, I know they just sent out a standard letter, but it would be so helpful to him to know that, you know?
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't,
we should just call him.
yeah, you might want to.
Call it.
Let him call him.
I got it down.
I called my people, like, anything.
I'll call him. I have his number and his name. And it was for the, okay. All right, that's appeal number 3. Do you have one ready?
I was gonna ask you for, from a mileage standpoint on the appeal number 4, which was the 2019, Camry there. What kind of mileage did he have associated with the vehicle?
85,000.
85,000?
Yeah.
Is that all from Uber Eats?
Oh, that poor car, I feel bad. Oh, the whole right side, everything on the right side of the car, and the front. Wow.
So, wow, more than double in my mind.
What?
If he's at 85 and I'm using 12, it should be more like 36.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, the 15 to 20 is too much.
So he's double.
And I think we better decide, because like Kathleen said, we should treat everybody the same, and we should. So if we're gonna say that we're gonna agree with that book and look at nothing else, and just take it verbatim, then we did it for one, now what are we gonna do with the rest of them? Do it to everybody? Even though none of us believe it, most of us don't believe it, we're gonna do it to everybody now, and just follow the book that we don't really have to follow?
So my thought is, I think we have a little more discretion when there's damage on the vehicle.
I'm just talking about the
I
mileage.
think- Right, the mileage, I mean, my opinion is we sort of just use the book for the mileage because,
But it's wrong. It's not, that's
Yeah.
the only source at that rate, like 15 to 20. If you go to
Yeah.
any other source, it's
Well,
less.
but we knocked it down another, what, 1,500 or something from,
Thousand.
1,000.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, so from this vehicle standpoint, there would be a negative adjustment to the tune of, 2,475. So the full valuation for the given vehicle is 24,730, and then you'd be taking 2,475 off of it, based on the mileage from the mileage chart.
And then
What
this
about
one was in worse shape,
Well,
right?
that I haven't,
Yeah, I think this one was in worse shape than
I think it's more of a shape.
Well, it wasn't in rough shape.
It wasn't rough.
Well, what was rough considered?
Had a broken bumper, did he have scratches on the dents or?
The whole side.
The whole right side, every single panel on that right side was damaged, every single one.
Paint, body, and wheel surface are considerable
And there
damage.
was wheel rash everywhere too.
Those
Yeah,
things are
just
after
look
paint,
at those.
small, medium.
Yeah, if you're
Small,
rough
medium,
and
size,
average,
rain
just
damage,
be
brush,
stuff
outside,
with days.
okay.
And then we
Just one
average
second.
just a do.
So wait a minute, so average is mechanically sound, very far from.
Just one second, sorry about that. Just want to make sure.
Do we consider that moderate imperfections or more than moderate imperfections?
More than moderate.
That it's in rough condition? Because
Yeah.
average says,
I'm gonna ask him to do the roughness, just
Okay.
to see.
average has moderate
I'm
imperfections.
actually doing the rough now.
Oh, you are, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And rough is significant. Yeah.
I can software that you can, I hate literally punching things in the computer, but the calculator.
Okay, so in rough, you'd be taking it down 2,970, okay?
Another 2,907.
If you were talking about a rough
Versus.
state, and then you wanted to do average, is that correct?
So call that 30.
Here's what I'm thinking, $2,730, less for that whole right-hand side. You could never.
You can never do it, you can't repair it for that.
That's, that
So who-
doesn't make sense.
You look at it that way, so now I'm gonna go buy this car, and I look at that, and I say, I'm just looking for a car to knock around in, but I gotta repair that.
Yeah.
So I'd have to take the
Never
amount
gonna
off the,
equal.
I'd have to take an amount off there that's gonna come close to that repair. I'm not gonna spend $5,000 on a repair, and we get 2,300 back
Yeah.
in that. So it does
Did we
matter.
get, did
But
we
it's
get?
still
the date?
drivable, right? There's no driving
matter.
issues with the car.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, for me, I mean,
Well, it is drivable, yes, and it would matter if we were gonna call it worse
right,
than
he
rough.
has issues with driving
Did we
it.
get, we didn't get when that damage took place from him? Right?
I don't know, I would only know if I looked at the sheet, because I might have written it on there.
Brings it down to 19,285,
Does it?
and then
And then 2,400 for the mileage.
So the average would be 14,080.
Wait,
No, that can't be right.
That can't be right.
No.
Well, or 1,480. I mean,
Well,
the
instead
adjustment,
of
I'm
29,
sorry.
it'll be 14.
1,408, it's half,
about
it's
half.
6%,
Okay.
rather than 12%
Okay.
adjustment.
That's okay, yeah.
So the same thing, 12.6%, okay.
So I'd like to make so do I have to make a motion for the appellant's value, or would I like to bring the appellant?
Well, if you're gonna change it, then it would be a grant in part, I believe.
Okay, so, to grant the appellant's, request in part to 17,000 even.
And he was asking for what?
We got this for
He's asking
14.
for 14.
It was at 24/7.
I don't agree, because I just think that, I mean, Peter, just so I'm clear what we're doing, you're basing your value on what condition?
On the
Average or rough?
the rough condition
Rough
and
condition,
the
okay.
mileage.
The mileage. He's asking for,
Does that get to that number?
he's asking for what, 14? What's he asking for?
He's asking for 14.
No, that,
He's asking
that
for,
brings me down
I
to.
should say, I think it's 5,400
Yes,
off.
he's
with that.
asking for 14,
he's asking for 14, and we're proposing,
17.
I think that's more than,
That's 24/7.
but those two numbers together, the rough and the mileage, right, are they,
Didn't that come down to about
maybe I didn't add it
17,
up right,
a little bit more than 17, maybe I did my math correct.
54.45 off.
It's 24,730 minus, 24,75 minus 2970.
Right.
so here's what we're doing, we're
Equals
just reinforcing.
19,285.
We're not looking at this, we're just reinforcing whatever they want. So I'd like to know what somebody else did as far as work. Did this guy give us anything? Is this, I don't remember which is which now, so did he
He
tell
gave
us?
the car max,
And what was the CarMax number?
Well,
14?
the 14.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
For that car.
For that car, I was, okay, so then,
I'm good with the.
so I got, right, we have to vote on
Peter has
Peter's
a
first.
motion on his
Right, we have to vote on Peter's, and then we can change it if it doesn't carry. Am I right? Is that correct? Okay. All
And
right,
to be
thank you.
clear, we're all assuming that all that damage was in the time period, because we don't know any differently.
And we should have asked, but we didn't. If we didn't ask, we can't blame him for that, so. We have to take his word for it, so. Okay, all in favor of granting Peter's motion to value the car at 17,000 even, Peter? Was it?
Yes.
Who's raising your hand?
You should-
All opposed? Opposed? Now we need another motion.
I'd be happier to split it in the middle.
I'm gonna make a motion that we grant the appeal as requested for $14,000 in that.
I'll second it if you want it.
We don't need it.
I'm into that.
Okay.
All in favor?
That one, all right.
Okay, motion carries 4-2. Or just say yes or no, I don't. Hello?
Kathy?
Oh,
Carol, who's up?
I
When I looked down, I didn't see it, so I just wanted to make sure. Okay, next.
Did you get that one?
Okay, so you
Or
got a
Peter and I.
2013, or I was looking at appeal number 5,
Yeah.
which is the Jeep Patriot
Oh,
there.
yeah. I
And,
remember that one.
so you'll have to give me a window into what was conveyed on that from a standpoint of.
Base model.
that sounds like you might have had the wrong, what do you call it, bin or
Yeah.
Oh,
something
yeah.
wrong.
Base
model.
Yeah.
I mean, she's even rolling up her own windows, okay?
Yeah.
Nothing, absolutely nothing in the car.
No,
Nothing.
nothing, what do you call it, automatic in the car.
Right.
Stripped down, I would call that.
135,000 miles.
35,000, yeah.
Don't have to.
Yeah,
Well,
but,
now they do.
I mean,
But
it
then
looks
they-
like we definitely have the Patriot at the base model, it's the sport level, it's not a limited, it's not a latitude or anything like that. So it seems like we're at the correct valuation based on the guide, if you will.
The 9,070?
No,
Yeah.
He has,
Oh, and 135,000 miles.
What's that?
It has 135,000 miles,
135, okay.
which is probably about right for 2013.
Just 1 second.
$9,000 for that, really?
While you're doing that, can I look at
The original?
what, no,
Oh,
the
just
Patriot.
Sorry about that, yeah.
Patriot is, I guess.
Oh, Liberty is a follow in demand.
I
No,
know.
that's the one we just decided, what were you looking for? The one that I'm working on?
Yeah, I just want to get the front page, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Does that mean it's all-wheel drive?
Is-
Probably is, right?
So she's within that.
I'm gonna hand
Still
over,
over, I mean,
this is the one you just decided on,
okay, yeah.
worked on. Just trying to,
Did that mileage affect it at all?
I haven't looked at, just as of yet, just one second, sorry. There's 135.
It should have been an amendment, and the amendment failed.
The mileage doesn't matter in this one, does
And
it?
the mileage adjustment on this one at 135 would be, a minus 550. So it's definitely not as big as the other ones.
And there was really nothing wrong with it, right? I mean, it's just that it's a base model.
No, that car leaks.
Oh, the windshield leaks.
Yeah,
I forgot
that doesn't lower the value, just try on a car that's wet inside, like I have.
I do not see how that car could possibly be worth $9,000.
Nobody's gonna pay $9,000 for the car leaks, that's
She
like,
was
that
offered
says it all.
2,300.
Yeah.
I know, to me, I mean, the 3,300, I think that was like,
Yeah.
her original.
That's what she was,
That's what she
I talked to her about
I
that, but
think
that's what
that's
she wanted to go
reasonable.
Ken, did used Jeep sell well?
But see, it
Like,
doesn't,
there's some, like, what are those Toyota trucks that sell crazy? Their values are so high,
Like
right?
the Toyota Cruisers and FJ Cruisers and stuff like that.
They're not automatic,
No.
anything, that's not
No,
gonna,
no.
nobody's gonna want it. first.
let me ask you this.
I
Where-
don't even know how to do that.
We need it for the beach.
I'm not sure that that's the sport one.
I can't imagine that was a sport, maybe you have to roll down your own
That
window.
what he said it was a sport
Maybe
one.
that's the way it is, maybe that's the lowest one.
They're all-wheel drive, right?
The Sport is the lowest
Right, so
one,
that's what it's.
and then it goes into the Latitude, and then it goes into the
Oh,
Limited.
no, it would not be those.
No.
And those are all
We've owned all those.
higher numbers associated with that.
Now, this car I find to be an outlier, and here's why. The leaking. Every time it rains, that car gets soaked inside.
Oh, I don't think, she didn't say that.
If
She didn't say that, she didn't say, come on,
Yes,
she
she
didn't say it gets soaked, she said it
I
gets wet.
heard.
She also said,
It
she didn't
rains
say,
inside.
hey, come smell this, is, moldy.
Oh, I didn't know
So,
we had to do a smell test, so I guess we
well,
could've.
But, listen, I mean, why wouldn't you bring that up? I mean, that would be obvious.
Because I had a
Bring up.
car like that, and I'm bringing
Okay,
it
well,
up.
but your car is not that car, right? Her car was out there, she was right there with us, she could have opened the door and said, look how this smells in here, right?
We did open the door. If we chose not to smell it, that's our business.
Well,
The door was open, I looked in, did you not look inside that car?
chose not to say that.
Okay, well, then,
So-
all right, then let's go on.
So it's not your car, your car's not being assessed here, right?
You know what, you don't have to even ask you about it, no, my car's not being assessed here, I'm just making
Your
a
car's
point.
not being assessed,
I just said that, it's not being assessed,
then don't bring the car up. I wanna hear about your car.
and I don't wanna hear you, so how about that, now we're even.
Great.
Quick, let's move on.
Peter,
I'm talking to you like that for, who do you think you are?
Let's just
Who do you think
get
you
back
are?
to
Who do you think you are?
Okay,
Oh, really?
Cars aren't supposed to leak.
Please,
That's
please,
right,
please,
that's
yeah,
what-
please.
Is this an
Yeah, like I'm
all-wheel drive
sick, right?
vehicle or two?
Yeah.
Does anybody
Yeah.
know?
It would be an all-wheel drive vehicle. It's a four-wheel drive vehicle.
It looks
I'm
like
trying
some of
to-
them are two-wheel drive.
Yes, they are, but
Okay.
this, by the VIN number, it's a four-wheel drive vehicle.
Assuming the VIN number's correct. Okay.
I mean,
So,
at
are you
some point, we have to
questioning
make
the VIN
some
number?
assumptions.
We had
You
some
know?
wrong VIN numbers. Well, somebody said their VIN number was
I don't
wrong.
wanna
No,
hear, I just want to hear.
just saying, I just want to
Yeah.
confirm, it was an all-wheel drive vehicle, right? It was four-wheel
It's
drive.
a four-wheel drive
Each
vehicle.
number on the VIN number designates something. So for
Right.
example, the 10th digit on the VIN number will tell you what year it was
Right,
built.
he was saying that. That's what
Right.
they use, the software, if they can't find it right. So, I just Googled
I
the
don't know why we're
2000.
I know, I was
dissecting this to
Googling it too.
minute.
Yeah, and they're coming up around 12,000 with low
Because
mileage,
that's the way it is,
so,
what can I tell you?
This
right?
is
The used with
minutia.
85,000 miles is
We're
$15,000.
gonna come
I
back
don't know what
tomorrow
model
night at
that
this
is.
rate.
That's
The model thing is what's bothering me.
I'm ready to make a motion.
Yeah,
Make a
go
motion.
ahead.
I make a motion that we grant this appellant the, amount of $3,300 with the appraised value.
All right, we have a motion on the table, we need to vote. All in favor?
For what?
So did we get the number?
She just gave you a number.
Did we get a number from Ken? No.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because we asked you for information.
Yeah, he gave us
Oh, I thought-
$85.20.
Which that was with mileage. So what about the, just, give it a rough condition, I guess.
Oh, well, then it brings it down even more.
Right, we'll say 12%
It says
off the
appraised
main,
value, that's what it's
3,000, so take,
7,000.
take 900 off, something like
Depending
that,
on
to
the
make it rough, right?
$3,300.
Looks like,
Another
it looks like
Proposed
regular is
on the
6% and rough is 12.
I thought you
Oh,
wanted
yes,
23.
it was the same for the.
No,
house.
I convinced her that, so I think I need to do this.
That's okay, so it's gonna make it around,
Oh, that
right,
was her
7,600.
original.
And I'm looking at these, I mean, they're used cheap,
We'll go with her.
but, I mean, look, my kids buy used cheap all the time.
If it's rough, you take 2,100 off,
2,100, okay, so that's a lot off the Jeep.
okay? Then the other one,
And 6,000, and no one's paying 6,000.
Well, but we just said, by Paulette's standard, we could use the internet and, car sales are saying that you can get those for.
Well, you're right, I did say that, Peter, you're absolutely right. However, Kathleen wants to do it for everybody the same, so now we can't use it anymore.
Carmack,
No, I'm just going with what you said.
I'm saying
I'm sorry, what
Carmack,
did you say that was? I didn't hear you.
Ridiculous.
I'm ridiculous.
3,300,
I'm
and
it would be 1,100 if it was, average.
Okay.
Average. I mean, all I'm doing is doing a quick calculation.
Yeah, we have a motion on the table. Oh, we have a motion on the table.
So I think it's
All in
worth
favor
more at
of,
around 7.
Okay, Paulette's talking.
Okay, did you guys get your numbers yet? You all set?
Yeah, I see around 7,000, between
Okay.
6,500 and 7,000.
Okay. All right, so there is a motion on the table. So let's vote on that, and if there needs to be change, we will vote again. How's that? Okay. All in favor of granting the appellate's request to reduce the value of the vehicle to $3,300? Please raise your hand.
So the vote 3 in
Yeah,
favor?
you call it for the record, so in abstentions, there's one abstention, Carol, right?
Yes.
And then and I vote no,
I vote
Peter, I'll
no.
invite him no, so Peter and
Okay,
Kathleen are no.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Technically, for the recording,
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
should say
we
the
should be-
name,
we should say that,
but
that's
it's
correct.
not unanimous,
Yeah.
yeah, or anybody listening.
Okay, so we have a tie, basically, or don't we?
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Next.
Okay, so there's your number 5. And then, okay, I've got appeal number 6 that I'm looking at right now. And, we just did,
Oh, that was five.
we just did 5. So now,
Number 6.
6,
Automatic.
okay.
Which is, number 6, is that?
Toyota Camry.
Oh, the Cam, the 2014 with 187,600 miles on it?
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
okay,
yeah.
so that one,
Well,
that's minus 1,900, for the mileage, for
13.
So-
Minus 1,900.
1,900, yes.
Okay.
let's just confirm, sorry, that this is a 2014 Camry SE, right?
Yes,
If the town has it valued at 13,428, he's asking it to go to 4,500 with and the mileage is 187,600 as of 10/1/2021. Has body damage, it was a run vehicle, mechanically sound. And he also said that it is labeled a hybrid every time he looks at it, he says, but it is not a hybrid.
No, it's gas
Hybrid
only.
keeps showing up.
yeah,
Okay,
we're not evaluating it as a hybrid.
you're not, okay.
No, I've looked this vehicle up, so,
Okay.
and that's why I knew quickly the $1,900, for mileage
Okay,
adjustment.
so minus 1,900 for the mileage.
So then what's the number when you take into account the, rough, the damage?
Okay, let me, get on
With 2 hits, 2 different
We didn't see
accidents?
this one, or we did? This one we have a picture of, right?
Yeah,
From the
there-
woman.
well, I mean,
Yeah, she
it's
works in the
limited.
assessor's office.
Okay,
We didn't see it.
I didn't see it, yeah.
She submitted a picture.
So the 2014.
Right, they drove it away.
Yeah, she left after that.
Like, can I steal this first?
Does
Sure.
anyone have notice as to when that accident was?
Looks like it's on the
I
door.
don't know.
Oh, there it is.
Every year.
Really? So you don't cross country?
All right, so it was 13,428 for the town, she said
4,500.
4,500. Did she give any backup information, like a CarMax, a JD Power, anything?
No, I believe she only gave us a picture of the car. Picture of the damage.
Can I see the pictures for refresh memory?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Right here?
Okay, this is the 2014 Camry, right?
So, on that one, if you were to,
SE.
if you were gonna go the rough route, it would be minus 2685. And then, that would be rough. And then you'd have, the mileage, high mileage thing, which is the minus 1900. So the overall would be, $1,585 on the downside.
That's an additional 4,585?
No, that's
Or that-
collective, that's
The
collective.
rough and the mileage.
Rough and the mileage. Mileage, high mileage is 1,900 off the chart, and then the rough differential ends up being about, 2,685. So the overall,
8843.
4585, be the overall adjustment,
What was that?
So, I guess,
4585.
hey, Ken, I know we talked about what they think that the average mileage is, 15 to 20,000. Is there some way to tell on this particular vehicle, a lot, like 185,000, 185,000, that's a huge amount of mileage. So, is there some way to tell, like, what are they calculating it on this vehicle at? 15,000, and then anything over
Well, I
that?
mean,
Or 20,000?
I must admit, I mean, if you were gonna go with the mileage today, you could make a larger adjustment. You could make it about 2,300 and change. What I was doing was based on, October 1 of 2021, if it was utilized in an average way, where it would fall, and it would fall around 160,000 miles as of October 1 of 2021, and that's where I threw it in the slot.
At 15,000 a year?
Yeah, whatever the book, delineates.
The car has like over 23,000 a year on it.
Yeah. So, that's how I derived it. Okay, so, put that together. Let's see. I'll move on.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Any other discussion, or any discussion, we can always discuss it, any
No,
discussion?
well, this is Kathleen, I think, you have those two numbers together, right? Based on that formula, it comes up to 8843. So everybody got for the rough with the mileage?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I'll make a motion to grant in part to 8843.
Okay, we have a motion on the table, we need to vote, all in favor of granting in part to 88, whatever it was, 8843, say that. Please raise your hand. We have how many?
Two in favor?
2 in favor and 4 opposed. Does anyone have another number they want to bring to the table with a motion?
Kathleen and Peter in favor.
Well, that.
I personally don't feel comfortable going 4,500, but
Okay, so are you making a motion to go?
I'm having a hard time with those photos.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
you know, like, I'm having a hard time
That's okay, I
seeing
mean-
the whole thing.
We saw the car.
It's all
No, we
right.
didn't.
No, we
didn't.
didn't.
I
Right,
didn't see
we
the, I
didn't.
didn't see the,
You're right, you're right, you're right.
So,
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just
Okay.
trying to be,
I mean, it's a lot of mileage.
Yeah.
But I'd be more comfortable around 6,000.
Okay,
yeah, so I just, instead of going, I just,
all right, so make a motion.
so I motioned, to grant it in part at 6,000.
All in favor? Hello, everything, all in favor? Okay, let's see, the motion passes. Five in
One
favor.
opposed, sorry, yeah, one opposed, Kathleen's opposed.
Okay.
So late.
I know.
Dark it is.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing number 8 right now, which
Okay.
is the Jaguar there, that,
Oh, yeah.
the 2019 Jaguar.
That's cute.
I verified the fact that the number that we have, you know, from a full value standpoint, 55,500, is verified in the book as being correct, based on the VIN number, obviously. And I do not want to give me a window into
8,000 miles.
8,000 miles?
Yeah.
Okay.
She said the Kelly Blue Book on that was 46,248.
Right,
She came with that, okay.
yeah.
So she was asking for 38,850, or that's 70% of the 46?
Yeah. No, because there was some damage on that too, right?
She said that was from
Oh,
July.
no,
Recent
that was
accident.
3 months old.
Yeah, it was
Right,
July,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
They
and then
can't-
I wrote on next to it, NQ for not qualified.
Right.
It wasn't,
Right. Mhm.
it wasn't right, okay.
And what does the town say it was valued at?
55,000.
So you don't have to round to the hundred.
And she wants
I
what?
suppose I could have, you can just write it down.
Well, she-
You're right. I mean, it didn't
That's-
matter, you're right, so it doesn't.
Well, actually,
Actually, for cars, you might
Well,
want
the
that.
assessed value.
Only real estate.
That's the 70% of the 55.
Oh,
She brought us something,
See what we
she brought
I think
us
she's
a Kelly Blue
confused.
Book that said it was worth
She's
46,
confused.
48.
Mm-hmm.
But Kelly Blue Book, again, what condition did she put in? She could have put
Did she give
in
us, did she give
based on
anything?
the damage.
Right, she could have, that's true.
That's what I would have
You
done,
said it
not
has
knowing.
mileage,
It makes sense.
8,000
to do
miles.
that, but I would have done it.
That's gonna bump it up.
That's
right?
gonna bump it up.
Right.
That's
It's gonna bump it
gonna,
up.
that's gonna bump it up to the tune of, 6,875, or 60, what is it, 6825.
So she paid 60,000 for it.
Right, so it's adding 6,800 to the 55,500 with the mileage, so she'd be at 62,000.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, she's got a little mileage, so,
Right,
I mean,
do a little mileage.
again, this is,
Well, certainly not worth more than
Not worth more than she paid for.
No, she paid.
I mean, I can put the mo,
60,139 in 2021.
right, but it's not at the 62,000, it's at the 55,500.
Right.
Right, if she were to get the mileage adjustment, it would be way
Yeah,
higher.
but the reason she only has that low mileage is because that car sat on the lot for 2 years before she bought it.
But she paid $60,000 in '21.
Yeah,
For it, she said.
and now she's at 55,500.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
when you take it off a lot, it drops in value, how much does it drop?
for a
About
Jaguar,
$400. Every
Oh,
car.
that's more than that.
Those dropped.
for a Jag?
Any car.
Second you tried
Yeah,
buying
yeah.
I know, but I thought high-end cars don't.
No,
No,
the way you drive out, oh my gosh, then.
Well, I do think that my opinion is, if I would think the way the appellants are thinking, that she put in a condition for the Kelly Blue Book formula as poor, which was probably poor whatever, poorer, taking into account the damage that unfortunately is unqualified. So,
Just out of curiosity, what would the number be with some damage? And not rough.
If you're looking for the average or good or something?
Yeah.
Average. See, I even object to these categories because it's not, not accurate, like, after clean retail should be good, or very good. Average is middle. I mean, the car might be worth more if it was graded differently. So, you go online, that's your choice.
Was
You
that?
know, excellent, good, very good, good, it's not, it doesn't go from clean or down to
It
average.
doesn't take it down much. Only takes it down like,
The car
maybe
will
5%.
appreciate about 10% the moment it leaves the lot, and another 20% within the first year. That's my first thing.
so
And then the
it
rule
would
of
be
thumb
about
is
maybe
between 15 to 20%.
2,775. You know, I mean, and that's me rounding to their advantage.
I just Googled how much when you drive a car off the
Yeah,
lot.
what did she pay for it?
Oh, I'm sorry.
She paid
Paid $60,000 in 2021, and the town has her at $55,500 in 2021.
Okay.
I mean, I can put the motion on the table, this is appeal number 8, the town, for a 2019 I-Pace Jaguar S EV 400 all-wheel drive. Town has the vehicle valued at $55,500, she's asking for it to be reduced to $46,248, is that accurate retail? Or appraised value? Yeah, okay, I think the $38,850 is probably does 70% of that.
It is,
So,
down to 55.
yeah.
Oh,
And if no one's gonna propose something different, we can vote, if you guys feel like you're not gonna give her anything, then we can just vote on the main motion.
well, how about this? 'Cause we just had that 2775 number just with any, it says average, so she has some damage on the car. That brings it down to 52,725.
But she has a low mileage, which bumps her up almost $7,000, so.
She just got it.
I'm not gonna.
I know, so that adds value to
But
the
the damage, she
vehicle.
must come back with the damage.
Yeah, she can come
next
back
year.
with the damage next year.
I mean, the 52,725 is kind of almost in between, a little higher, but
Can someone do the
the
calculation of
46, 248, and 5,500.
of 60,000?
Where did you get the 52?
15%.
With the average, the 2775, off of the 55,500. from
9,000.
The damage brings us down to 50.
9,000, that would be 51. That's my motion.
All right, make a motion.
I make a motion I'm using the internet, 15% value from her 60 grand, which they say is what happens within the first year, driving it off the lot, and I come up with a number of $51,000.
Okay. So you'd like to make a motion?
I'm uncomfortable going as low as Kelly, because I really.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Damage based on that.
Well,
I'd love her to
no
come back
credit
next
for the
year for the
low
record.
Yeah.
I get that.
No, that's good.
And no
So-
credit for the low mileage, right? You're just ignoring the
Ignoring
low
it.
mileage.
Yeah, I'm ignoring that too.
Yeah.
I don't think she should be penalized for that.
I'm not gonna go as low as 20, so I.
No,
No, I think
and
that's- I think that's fair.
Close enough for the 50,
Yeah,
in my
and-
opinion, so I'm okay with that.
So that's in part.
Okay, so you make a motion, grant in part.
I'm making a motion to
51,000.
grant it in part to 51,000.
Okay. All in favor of that value? Motion carries.
favor?
4 in favor, 2
Four in favor,
opposed,
two opposed,
Peter and Kathleen
Kathleen and Peter,
opposed.
yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Was it 51?
51, yeah.
Okay, so, we're doing number 7. And, I just verified that, the valuation that we have is verified through the book of, 25,000, actually 950 rather than 960, but nevertheless,
Can we
that's,
talk about which one this is?
This is
Car
number,
wise?
yeah, this is what, number 7, Ken?
yes, it's the
Oh,
2018,
Dawn.
yeah, VW.
The mileage is 56,000.
And can someone for the record state what they're looking for versus what the,
I don't have it, so Ken will have to tell me.
I'm-
She's asking for 18,315
Yeah.
versus,
Wait,
And the town, 25,950.
And it's a 2018 Volkswagen T1 SEL.
What's she asking for, 16?
18,315.
Yeah, there was an accident in 2019, they replaced the bumper.
Well, she bought it for 25,000 in 2018, so definitely not 25,000.
Right, that one's.
Right, and then there was the accident in 2019, and once you have an accident.
And the
you
mileage
have to work on that,
is
that's gonna go.
56,000.
56,000.
The Kelly Blue Book is 22,733.
What?
The Kelly Blue Book is 22,700.
Yeah, she said Kelly is 22,000.
Yeah,
And why is she asking for 18?
I don't know.
No, I'm just curious, she.
I'm
Oh,
curious,
okay.
if she's got that for Kelly Blue Book value, then why is she asking
Yeah.
for less than that? I don't know. That doesn't seem to make sense to me.
yeah.
Well, she
Unless
didn't get
she's
the other
doing
one
it
right
right.
either.
Yeah, she didn't get the other one right either.
She might be afraid.
Yeah.
or-
Yep.
She said it, has dings, and that's what
Yeah,
we.
yeah, we said that's normal wear and tear.
Probably
But
assessed
again, you
that.
would put that into the.
I don't know, it didn't sound like, nothing.
Yeah,
We
but
get that.
from
I wasn't
a
sure.
from a mileage
I don't think it
adjustment
was
standpoint, it's minimal. It's $250 of valuation.
You put that in the minutes. I don't know.
I think the Kelly Blue Book.
Last year's minutes,
Yeah.
it wasn't
What is it?
22,733, I probably rounded off to 22,700.
what the new number was.
22. I'll make a motion to grant, this is appeal number 7, the 2018 VW Tiguan, to grant in part to $22,000.
Okay, motion on the table, we will vote.
And that's.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Kelly Blue Book?
One
Yeah.
second, I didn't hear if there was,
22,733.
yeah, I didn't hear whether there was any mileage adjustment for the 56,000.
It's very minimal, it's 250,
250, okay.
250 is the only, piece on the chart.
And again, for the record, she paid 25, right?
Right,
So-
in 2018.
Yeah.
So she's got,
That would have been new, right? She probably
Not
bought
an
it new.
appreciating asset.
No?
right.
T1, no?
No.
Okay.
And
Demand,
I want to check something.
okay.
Be honest, 4 years later, and it's only down.
Some of the trucks are higher than they,
Yeah.
like, they're
Trucks are really
insane.
expensive.
But even so, they go up. They're going up.
You never see this kind of money.
Kelvin, did you get your question answered?
Yeah, it was minimal mileage adjustment. I'm looking online, they're being advertised around 25.
Okay, so Carol has a motion on the table.
I think I had.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, that's Judy, my mistake.
Yeah, I just want to add.
All in favor of
22,000.
granting in part to 22,000 even, please raise your hand.
She paid 25.
Yeah.
Motion carries 4-2, to oppose, Peter and Kathleen.
Okay, I'm looking up, appeal number 1.
All right, you have.
All right, so listen, appeal number 1 and appeal number 2 belong to me, Judy Zablak, and I am recusing myself from the vote. I am also walking out of the room so nobody feels any kind of pressure because I'm sitting in here. Is that okay with everybody?
Perfect, thank you, Judy.
Yeah, all right.
Appropriate.
Very appropriate, thank you. And so where will
You
you
want
be
me
back?
to close the door?
Up to you.
I'm gonna go over and use the restroom.
All right, then, you can.
I'll just whisper it like right here. And I'll peek. No, I won't.
You just go on your phone and listen on the
Yeah, really, that's what you have to do, yeah.
being broadcast, right, whatever.
Which one are we doing now, number 1?
Yes. So,
Mercedes.
so I just verified that the value out of the guide is correct, at 28,025.
Oh, wait, this is, appeal number 2?
No, we're doing 1.
Doing 1,
This
that's
is,
the Mercedes.
Yeah, this is the Mercedes, I believe it's the E400.
Yeah, so this is, so if I'll just either make the motion or whatever. Appeal number 1 is the 2016 Mercedes E400. The town has the vehicle valued at $28,000. I thought she said 30, but 25, and the appellant is requesting a reduction to $15,000, and that's the appraised. Is that accurate? She's asking for $15,000 appraised? Okay.
Yeah, because I believe she's asking, she has, appraisal.
And she has an appraisal showing and it's the appraisal from the.
He has it, I don't have it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And it has 76,
I don't-
and I believe she said 76,000 miles, right? It has some paint chips, some things on the driver's seat.
And it does in fact state that the clean, it says on the appraisal that the clean retail value as of October 1st, 2021 is $15,000.
On Kelly Blue Book or where? Or that's.
She got that independent appraisal from the.
Simcoe value,
Right.
at that.
I don't know how to.
I'm afraid with this Maserati, I
Yeah, I
have
mean,
to,
just the same
run
way
downstairs.
You know what, though, Ken, before you do that, you don't even have to go downstairs, let's wait a minute on that. Hold
Oh,
on.
okay.
Okay, so now we have an appraisal, from a licensed company doing an exotic and high-end cars at a value of $15,000. Is that correct? Is that what's on there?
That's correct, yeah.
So I think that's as far as we have to go.
Well, I'd like to know the mileage, I'd like to know the book number with the 76.
We don't need it because we have an appraisal. But if you wanna hear it, you can hear it.
To be fair, I'm happy
Yeah.
for the number.
Yeah, you can ask for it.
Give me the number.
I gotta jump downstairs to get it.
For the
Oh, it's the
Mercedes?
Mercedes?
For the Mercedes, I'm
Right,
sorry,
yeah.
I'm jumping ahead here. Sorry about that.
Then you might as well go jump for the other one because we're gonna have to hear it.
Just 1 second. It's 2018, correct?
2016, right?
16.
Is it a 16?
2000,
I wrote down 16.
2016,
16.
400.
400.
Okay, what mileage am I looking at now?
76,000.
I'm gonna talk about some old classics. I was looking on Simcoe's website.
I apologize, what was the number again?
That's okay. 76,000?
76,000. No adjustment,
No adjustment for that mileage, okay.
no. I'm just gonna run down and grab that one for the Maserati.
Yep, sure.
Okay, thank you. I'll be right
So
back.
2016, permit information 5 years.
Of course.
Oh, that's one, okay. Hang on there, Cap, we're not going through my phone.
It is cold in here. Oh, thank you.
There should be a chair tucked in there somewhere.
There's a gentleman. Thank you, Ken.
All right.
Interesting, I looked up on the Kelly Blue Book, for the car, nowhere in here, 28,000. The fair purchase price is 21,000. Not taken into account, condition issues, that's, I was just trying to compare. This is from Kelly Blue Book.
Minus whatever we're going with it.
Right.
That's probably where we got it numbered.
Yeah, probably.
Because we sell cars that all the time.
Okay. I'm sorry. We're
Run the Mercedes.
we're still on the Mercedes. Okay. Sorry.
I think Kathleen had some questions about numbers.
Yeah, I just want to, I think there was no adjustment for the mileage,
No.
76,000.
No adjustment.
Yeah, so that's where we're at.
Oh, that's all we needed? Was there anything else? That was it?
Addition, or we're gonna ask?
Yeah, I mean, there was a little bit for the paint chips on the driver's side, right? She said a little bit of damage on the seat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the panel is.
The panel is, wait, that's Mercedes, so that one
It's like,
has,
it sounds like it's a no-no, because it's been replaced with an incorrect panel.
right, it's
It
incorrect
should have
panel.
been that Earl Wood.
Yeah, you can't, yeah. Because they don't make it anymore, so they couldn't replace the correct one. Okay, any other questions? So my feeling about it is that we have a valid appraisal of an automobile at $15,000 even, is that correct?
Yes.
So I don't know why we have an issue with not just voting on this, because she has given us proof. So I don't see what the problem is, not the proof, I'm just saying I don't really see what there would be an issue on this appeal.
Yeah, and I'm okay, because I fact-checked it with Kelly Blue Book, and the Kelly Blue Book says that the purchase price are around 21, call it 22,000.
But, yeah,
Discounting for these apparent defects, I guess.
And there was.
I don't know how to, I don't know how to refute an appraiser.
well, I don't know how
want
to refute, I don't know how to refute an appraiser on motor vehicles, because I don't value them. I don't sell them, I don't deal in them, I have no knowledge of it. So I have no choice but to agree with, or to accept what looks like a valid appraisal. So I make a motion that we accept the appraised value of the vehicle and drop it to the requested value of $15,000. All in favor? We have, motion passes, carries, we have 3 to 2. Opposed are Kathleen and Peter, and Judy on favor is abstaining, or she's not really involved in it. So, however you word that is up to you guys, but
So is she.
I guess we can say that she's not here, basically, so we don't even have to mention her name, not mistake.
Right.
So it's a 3 to 2 with Kathleen and Peter. Okay, now we have the last one, which is appeal number 2, I believe.
Correct.
And that is the Maserati.
Correct. And, the valuation is correct based on the book, and I don't
So
know.
can I have that, please? I'm sorry, Mr. Senator Carroll.
Yeah, this one? Yeah, this is the.
That's the,
So I'll just read, it's a 2016 Maserati 04, does that sound right?
it's a Maserati Ghibli.
Ghibli?
Yeah, that's the model.
Okay. And, let's see, the town has the vehicle valued at 44,000
Yes.
even?
Yep.
44,000 even, and the appellant is requesting a reduction to 22,000. Is that accurate?
I don't have the paper, I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So now, but we have to remember, this is
Right.
the car, but remember, this is the car with the
Mhm.
replaced engine.
Right, it has 38,000 miles on
With the
it.
replaced used engine.
Right.
Well, we only know that it has, see, it's tricky because we only know that that's what it has on it now. We have no idea what it really has on it. Because that engine was used and it's put in the car. So we
Yeah,
have no idea what it
she
really is.
stated 38,000 miles, but you're right, she didn't say whether that
But
was
there's no way for her to know.
the new engine or the old engine.
Well, I believe that's with the replaced engine.
She purchased it new in 2016, so she replaced the engine.
Right, to replace the engine.
Okay, so she
But I'm
should
talking
know.
about, well, no, because I guess if you look at the whole car, she should know. But I'm talking about the engine, which is really what we're talking about, not the car. She would have no way of knowing what the replaced engine, how many miles it had on it, when she put it in the car.
Mhm.
There's no way to know that.
So I'll ask for the mileage adjustment, because that's what I always do.
Okay.
2016, the Maserati, the mileage is 38,000. And then I guess, what do you want, the rough or is that helpful to know on these higher-end vehicles, what the adjustments are, maybe? It might be more,
Yeah.
it might be higher, right, for the higher-end vehicles, the adjustments seem to be more than like the 6 and 12%.
What did you say the number was? It was 36,000? 38,000?
She said 38, even though we don't know which.
And I don't have my paperwork here. What year? What
Yeah,
year?
2016 Maserati, what was it called?
Ghibli. Oh, this?
Oh, no, but
You feel? Yeah. He's got one.
2016, and you said 36,000?
38,000.
38,000, I'm sorry.
There's no adjustment.
Yeah, the number would be substantially increased by having 38,000. It would be like 6,200 additional for low mileage. You know, when you get into these value guides for the exotic vehicles and whatnot, they do give you what's considered a low value, which in this particular case would be like 34,100. Then they have an average value, which is right around at the 44,000 that we put it at. And then there's a high, which is at 52,600. Now, I just want to let you know what we do in our office on these vehicles. An awful lot of times when they're brand new, we're going for the high number because we're saying, okay, it's never going to be any better than this.
Right.
But then when it gets to be like 5 years old, then we say, okay, it's safe to assume more than likely it's more average than it is, pristine, and that's kind of the soft spot that we fell in on this one where we went to the 44. And
again, a Kelly Blue Book value for this, for fair market is 32.
Although Judy told us it was 27.
27 and 31.
But again, all our valuations are as of October 1, 2020.
Right.
Well, I think the thing that we have a hard time
Razor on
accounting
this
for,
one?
yeah, the hard thing we're having a hard time accounting for is the fact that that engine has been replaced, which greatly changes the value of the car.
Can I read the appraisal?
Yeah, I was just
Appraisal,
gonna say,
what-
it's
what
reading
does
it
it
say?
about that?
I have. Oh, I have.
Can you read it for the
Sorry,
record for
I
everyone?
will read it, yeah. This is from Simco, reading the appraisal on this particular car in question, Simco Motor Cars. Dear Judith, it was nice speaking with you regarding the clean retail value of your 2016 Maserati Ghibli four-door sedan. It has the VIN number. This is a very clean example in desirable color. However, the engine in your vehicle is not the unit that was originally supplied with the car. While the reason for the original engine being replaced is unknown, this does impact the overall clean retail value of your automobile. This Ghibli is not considered a numbered matching automobile, and unfortunately, significantly impacts the overall value of the automobile. According to Kelly Blue Book, a numbered matching example falls between 27,677 and 31,872. Now, she got that from him. That's why she's got it on her. As this example has a replacement and/or used engine, which is not in the original chassis, I would state the clean retail value as of October 1st, 2021 of this vehicle as $22,000. It's not hesitate to contact you with any further questions regarding your car. So, that's his value, that's the value he placed on this car, $22,000 even. That's it. You pass it around, that's fine.
vehicle sales, consignment, and consulting. Anybody else want to see?
No? You have any questions, comments, anything?
No, I'm just gonna say again, because of the low mileage, you know, the Nota book bumps her up 62, bumps the vehicle up 6,200 for low mileage.
And
So,
I understand that, thank you for putting that out, but in overall, we're not looking at that. We're looking at the big problem being the engine, and the engine replacement, not that it only has so many miles on it. You can bump it up, but it doesn't matter, because he gave us a value of what it really is worth in the retail market. So that engine makes a huge difference. And I'm not qualified, I don't know anybody else is, I'm not qualified to determine, you know, how much of a difference it really makes. He is. We have no other refutable information, so, you know, everybody has a right to their opinion.
I just have a hard time
Thank you
going
very
over
much.
the,
Oh, no problem. Really, so.
yeah, very
Thank you,
kind of you.
Thank you very much for that.
No problem.
We're all
Well,
set, yep.
I hope I stayed within my parameters.
oh,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
helpful.
Staying in my lane and all that.
Doing the math, always appreciate
Somebody in the office does,
that.
thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure, have a pleasant one.
You
And you're
too.
gonna trip down with
Yep, I'll just
this?
down with all this stuff, yep.
Fantastic, I'll be
Yep.
waiting for you.
Yep.
Have a pleasant evening.
I'm
Oh,
going
you
to
too.
go for her. I mean, you know, the same way that we rely so much on residential appraisal. I mean, I would think this particular gentleman who did this appraisal knows a lot more than I do about evaluating a car.
I don't know anything about it.
I mean, I have a hard time going against an appraisal.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Okay, and what? Okay, I make a motion to accept the appraised value, and which is the same as the appellate, requested fair market value of $22,000 on this particular vehicle. All in favor? Motion carries, three in favor, two opposed, Peter and Kathleen. And although no one has to answer, and I'm not trying to be argumentative, I just really want to know, if I can. I don't really understand the failure to accept a valid appraisal on a vehicle. And we have no knowledge of our own to say, I don't believe that. We can't, how do you say that when we don't know how to do it?
Yeah, I applaud somebody for getting it, because we're not used to getting
When I used to get it.
appraisal.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever been in a appeal meeting for motor vehicles.
Yeah.
Or other items.
I guess we're not
Do you have
gonna-
anything else for me?
We do.
Oh,
We do. We finished the deliberation. Deliberations are free, start on
No,
Monday.
different time.
Judy?
Here.
Come on in. Okay, the next on the agenda, we'll try to go to the description of the same longer, the next is the approval of outstanding minutes. I believe Kathleen was going to make a motion on that.
Yep, I was gonna make a motion, to amend where's my papers here? Some of the hearing minutes. I think I talked to everybody about their own hearings. I actually did listen to all the hearings as well during the process. I went back and listened to the tape, so some of them I knew were wrong. I can submit the ones that I have, or you guys can read them into the record.
Did you actually, I'm sorry, did you actually listen to everyone's
I did.
hearing?
I did.
Why would you do that? I mean,
Because I wanted to, because I wanted to
Wow.
listen to that. I just put it on the car and I just played it, or when I was walking or running, I just listened, I changed through them. Yeah.
Why use Netflix? Wow.
I don't want
Yeah, there you go.
They're real, plus, you know, there weren't that many. I mean, it's not that hard. Anyway,
Wow.
I do hope next year we can hear them all as a board, because it's gonna make it way faster if we hear them
Hearings?
all together. Yeah.
like this? No, I don't think we're gonna be able to
Well,
do
you
that.
do it very differently, but I mean, whatever.
Well,
Anyway, that's my thought.
That's an interesting thought, Kathleen. The reason I say that is because I actually attended an appeals hearing in Milford with a friend of mine. I helped her with her appeal. And their way of doing the hearing was to put all the board members in a room like this, separated by so many feet, and they just called, you waited in the hall, and they just said, okay, you're next. And you went in, and you sat with whatever member was available at the time, and you gave your appeal. They asked you questions just like we do, and then they said, okay, well, we'll let you know. And that was that. So there was no, it was fast, because everybody what they would do is they would do it for 2 hours, and then they would deliberate for 2 hours, and that would be finished. Then the next night, they would do the same thing, 2 hours.
What time was
It started at, her appointment was at 6, but it started earlier than that, because there were already a ton of people there when we got there.
What town?
Milford.
Milford. Well, I'm just curious.
There are other towns, Westport does it, I think, similar to that, I think Westport, they have you just come in and do it in front of everybody. I'm not sure exactly, I think that's what they do.
Okay.
And by the way, they do not record anything, and they don't write any notes. They make little notes on the sheet, and that's the end of it. Because if you think about it, why are we recording hearings now that we don't have COVID issues anymore, when the public is invited to attend, and we're all in one room, and it's all going to be discussed in the deliberations, which is their theory. We don't need to, because we're going to talk about this, and that's tape. So you call the appeal number, you call the name of the people, it's just redundant to do it that way. And you certainly couldn't do it in a room with 6 people, because you'd be hearing everybody else's stuff on the recorder. So I don't think I was going to think about trying that for next year. What do you guys think?
So you talk about it in December.
Yeah, we'll talk about December, it's something to think about. It might be a lot faster. Okay.
I'm
So
sorry.
you're making a motion to
It's
accept,
okay.
I'm sorry, you're making a motion to?
Yeah, so I'll read them into the record if you want. Appeal number 9, Dean Cardenas was listed as senior, he wasn't there. Papa George was there. The spelling is wrong on appeal number 12. The last name is Scala, not Scale. Appeal number 13. Some of the names, the way that the minutes were done is they now merged them from the existing database. So you can tell when there's 2 people on the same line that nobody looked at it to do it, because they all should, each attendee should be on a different line. So when you saw a couple on a line, you know that it was not broken out correctly. So anyway, so that one needed to be split on appeal number 14. It said that Jeanette and Henry Walker were there, but Henry was not there, only Jeanette was there. Peter confirmed that. On appeal number 18, it said that Harvey and Gail Hoffman were there. Judy confirmed that Gail was not there, only Harvey was there. On appeal number 19, it said that Alfred and Ann Friedel were there. Judy confirmed that they were not there, that only Harvey Hoffman was there. On appeal number 33, it said that Jessica and Vic Chaudhry were there. Jessica was not, only Vic was there. On appeal number 50, Amy Reese, this was Carol, she was in room 4, said she was in room 2, same with appeal number 51, this was Carol. It said they were in room 2, they were in room 4. Appeal number 62 was John Tilden. Jeff Smith was there, that wasn't recorded in the liens, confirmed that. For my appeal number 74, it said the appellant was Douglas Bunnell, trustee. It was not, he wasn't there, it was Rebecca Bunnell. Appeal number 93 was Carol's. It said that Doug and Kathy were there together, so I asked that was Carol's, to split the names in 2, and then appeal number 119 was Katie. Same thing, the 2 attendees were on one thing. Katie confirmed they were both there, but just to split those out. So I have this in a spreadsheet. I believe the assessor's office did all of those minutes. And these were the hearings on 3-7 and 3-8, and in various different rooms.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes, to change the minutes as change the minutes. All in favor? Unanimous. Next on the agenda is, summary of data.
There were other minutes too, I think, right, Kathy? I don't know if you want to do all the hearing minutes too, the deliberation minutes, but those have not been approved.
Right, I know, I sent the list to Paula.
I don't know what it is. We'll just do it. I make a motion that we approve all the minutes from the deliberations that are outstanding. All in favor?
No, please. So at least the last set of minutes, I left at 7 o'clock, and that's not recorded in the minutes. You see the votes go from 6-0 or whatever to 5-0. So you know one person left. I believe I left the last night at 7 o'clock. You can tell when the votes changed. It just didn't record that I wasn't there.
Okay, so that's the only change?
Some of the other ones have some issues, but I'm not gonna, never mind. Small clerical things.
Okay. So can we make that change? that Kathleen left at,
Just add that to the minutes that I was,
okay.
right,
Kathy's gonna
it
do
says
that.
at the top left
Okay,
at
yeah.
7:05 or
Okay.
whatever. Kathy, you took the minutes, right? Yeah.
You're gonna make that.
And you can
change.
tell from the vote, when it goes
Yeah,
from, you
okay,
know,
I'll look over
only
that.
6 people voted to 5, you know someone left the room, but you don't know who left.
Yeah, okay.
Appreciate that.
So we'll make that change. Now, did we vote on that as unanimous with that change? All in favor of voting on the minutes with that change?
Do we know which sets of minutes we're voting on, Kathy? Can you just read it into the record?
No, let's stop.
How many sets of minutes do we have outstanding? Like 5 or 6?
I don't think I brought that. I sent it to Paul.
There's a lot on the reason I asked is there's a lot on the website as not approved. So either the town clerk's office is behind, or we never approved the other one. I don't know.
I don't remember if we ever approved them, I can't really say. So if we don't do it now, when do we have to do it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so there were 6 sets of minutes. 316, 321, 322, 323, 324, and 328. And the correction was 328. Okay.
Can you just approve them all? Now can we approve them?
Yeah.
All in favor of approving the minutes, the way they were described?
right.
Thank you, all that's unanimous. Next on the agenda was the summary of data from the 2020, well, that's not really what it is, because he only gave me the 2021, so we'll say it this way then. Last year, Harold, at the end of I think it was this meeting, he kind of gave us a summary of what happened with all the appeals that we did. And I thought that was kind of a nice thing to have that information. So I just wanted to just leave that out for everybody. In 2022, the appeal summary is as follows. 59 appeals were granted, 27 were granted in court. The total of the two is 86, and that represents 73.50% of the appeals. There were 17 denied, or 16.5%. The total decisions was 103. There were some that were not heard, which were over $1 million. There were 9 of those, and there were 12 of those. 12 were not heard, they were over $1 million. 9 were withdrawn before we ever had to do anything with them. The assessed value of decisions that came before we made any, it sounds confusing, but the amount that was being requested by everybody in total was $69,303,735. Post our deliberations, the value was $58,680,560. So the reduction was $10,623,175. And that comes to a reduction of 15.33% in that value.
So that value of 10 million
Was what we gave, was what we granted in total.
assessed.
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 Yeah.
And what does that translate to taxes? Well,
I don't know.
do the math.
This is like an average of 15.3%, so that would have to be.
No, it's just coming up with the dollar.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, we apply the mill rate to that. So it's like
No, well,
$260,000?
the amount is the amount of the
Yeah.
difference that we
The
had.
difference is 10 million.
10 million.
So you times that by the mill rate and you get what the tax, what the money is.
Okay, yeah, you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So it's like,
no, because he's giving us the assessed value of the decision.
yeah.
Right, that's what
Right.
the tax,
That's what the
That's
tax.
what the tax, that's what you want to know what the total is.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I wanted to know what the tax dollar is.
Okay.
So we apply the mill rate.
Yeah.
Fine, okay.
Okay, Superior Court appeal. In 2020, there were 108 cases. Well, now this is 2 years ago. There are 30 remaining that have not been decided. I'd like to know that number of dollars. It's costing us.
Oh,
And in 2021, there are 10 cases in court, and all 10 are remaining. So we're still a year behind on those. So 40 cases have not been decided. So 40 cases over 2 years of legal fees and the assessment time in court. I would love to know what that dollar amount comes out to. And look at that against how much it was reduced by our decisions. I would guess. Anybody want to guess which number's bigger? Because I don't really have that number.
most of those are commercial though, right?
I know that a lot of them are commercial, but, there's quite a few residential too. I know of one from 2021 that hasn't been settled yet, that was a residential, and what happened was that, they're still in court because, they got an appraisal, they met for the pretrial thing, they got an appraisal, and then the town said, no, we want to do our own, so they did one. And then they went back and then said, now we want to do another one. So they dragged this out, how much longer, and it still hasn't been decided. And I know that one of the owners became really sick, so I don't know if that is part of the reason why it's still not decided yet or not. He had serious heart problems, so I don't know what happened with that, but that's just an example, so I think we need to think about that.
No, that was very interesting.
Yeah.
For the record, the tax dollars are about $250,000.
I mean, that's not that big a deal. When you consider, and here's why I say that, that is a lot of money, I don't mean to make light of it. The reason I say that is because when I look at that, it's costing all, now that has to be spread out among everybody, we all know that. And that's gonna cost us all money in the long run. And then I look at other things that cost us probably a lot more, that people aren't aware of. Things like affordable housing, that every time one of those units is built, those people who receive the housing, they don't pay taxes on what everybody else does. In other words, a complex in Southport, taxes is $21,000. Affordable housing is $3,200. And it's owned by the man who developed the unit. So tell me he can't afford taxes.
See, you can see the little rentals.
No. Yeah, well, no. In Southport, at that little village that we did, what's the name of it, the one by the, on West
Oh,
Side.
yeah.
Those were purchased, and 3 of the units had to be deemed affordable to get the thing done, which I think is great, we should have affordable housing. I'm not complaining about it, I'm just saying that then the developer took one of the units and bought it, had his son buy it, bought it first time. So now we have somebody that should be paying $21,000, that's only paying $3,200, and that will stay that way. By the way, the assessor's office never raises that amount, no matter what happens to that owner. So say you own one, say somebody bought one, right, they're paying a third or a quarter, even an eighth of the taxes that everybody else in the unit's paying. They never check, they never make him do anything that lets them raise the taxes, like they don't check. And I know that because I asked Ross. What happens like if I became the vice president of the company? Now I can afford it. No, they don't change it. Now, I don't know if they have to do something with economic development, they have to turn something in there, maybe they do. But this is, so think about how much that is gonna cost everybody as opposed to the $200,000. This is simple. So, there's a
Well,
lot of
just remember that the reduction of the 250 is every year until the rebound.
Right.
Right, so it's not
So
just
in 40
250, you have
think
to
about-
multiply it
right.
times however many
So
years.
think about 40 years,
Total budget.
40 years of $17,000 in taxes per unit you're not getting in that place alone. So, just saying. I think that was all that was on the agenda. Somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
Well, I just thinking, the summary that you made, can you
Yeah, can you share that?
just
I can, actually, I can say, he gave it to me in an email, so I can send it to everybody.
I love that, thank you.
Yes,
I'll
we
do
put
that
it in
when
the
I get home.
minutes too, Captain, attach the minutes.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, and I guess on.
We don't need
Oh, wait a
seconds.
minute. Oh, wait, before we go, I'm sorry, before we go. Do we have a meeting scheduled for December?
We do. Should be on the town meeting calendar. If it's
Okay.
not, we're in trouble, but yeah.
Okay. And I think we'll have to think about that meeting, so we're gonna have to decide what we're gonna do about the extra people like Judy. Oh, by the way, I wanna thank Judy for her willingness to be on the board, and help us with our hearings and appeals. Unfortunately, Katie is ill and couldn't be here.
I was gonna say Katie was probably absent tonight. She's technically.
And you're gonna, by the way, just to remind, thank you for, you'll call those 2 people to
Yep.
remind them.
Yep.
It's on my conscience.
I have it on my
For them
notes.
to come next year with their
Yes, I have it on my notes.
damage.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
It was a pleasure to serve with everybody here.
It's nice to have you back, Judy.
That's
Well,
all
love
right.
everybody. No, I'm kidding.
And again, I don't know what we're gonna do.
I really appreciate all of you, and it's great to get to know you, Kathleen and Peter, and, thank you.
A lot easier this year than last year.
Yeah, well,
Carol?
I don't know what we're gonna do next year, I would love to see.
I'm looking for a meeting on the
Oh, do you
town
want
clerk's
to,
calendar.
you should actually
I don't know.
update the board on the district. Do you want to
I've
start
got,
that?
uh,
No? Well, we'd wait till December.
We're not quite finished with that yet.
Yeah, December. So
Carol,
we'll
did
just-
you let the town clerk know about our, December meeting? Because I don't see it on the
Yeah,
town meeting
I just made
calendar.
myself a note. I don't recall ever mentioning.
We'll have to do an
December
agenda
meeting.
for that too, get it over.
We definitely, we approved it last year. You can look at the minutes. We definitely approved the date
Yep,
last year.
yeah, we did, I think we have to by a certain.
Yeah, you have to
I-
approve them in
I
December.
didn't translate for me to have to know that. So, yeah, I made
Yep,
myself
so
a
you'll
note to
send that
check
out,
on that.
okay.
Do you need to know what it is?
Well, yeah, I'd like to know, because I don't remember that I wrote it down.
I have 6, December 6th at 5 o'clock.
We had 2 sets of minutes.
And then what do we call it? The
That's the organizational meeting,
initial, organizational meeting?
Yeah.
for the following year. We'll vote on, dates for the,
December 6th, 5 PM. That's what I see in our minutes.
Okay, yep, I will do that.
Okay, that's it, thank you, thank you Kathy very much for all your help.
Yeah,
And
thanks,
being able to-
So somebody made a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, Judy did, I'm sorry.
Judy?
Judy made a motion, all in favor?
I'll second it.
Unanimous.
Hi, everybody.